Okay, the Finance Committee meeting of Wednesday, March 31st at 7:15 will come to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Dave, present the colors.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
United
States of America and to the republic
for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty
liberty,
and
justice
For all. All right. Where do we want to go? There's so much stuff. Got a bunch of emails today on stuff. The new budget came out.
Eddie, do you want a motion to open the meeting?
Yeah,
Well, you could take attendance, unless I
I did
missed.
that for you. Yeah, now I'm out of it today. All right, take a roll call. Ed, Bob,
Here.
Chet,
Here.
Dave,
here.
Diane,
here,
Scott,
Yeah.
yes.
here,
I think Ben said he might be late. Joel,
Here.
John Anzavino,
Here.
E. John Rock,
Here.
Marty,
Here.
Elliot,
Elliot will not be attending tonight, from what I've been told.
okay. Vaughn,
Here,
Enoch,
Enoch is on his way back from school, so he should be here
a little
shortly.
later.
He's going to be here shortly, yeah.
All right, so we're down 3 for 15. We have 12. Okay. All right, motion to open the meeting.
So made.
No hearing.
Huh?
What hearing?
No, I said open the meeting.
Oh, I thought you said hearing it, sorry.
No,
that's
I
I
said.
guess my hearing is gone.
all right.
Nice. I'll second it.
Okay, Ed votes yes. Bob,
Yes.
Chet,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
Diane,
yes,
Scott,
Yes.
yes.
yes,
No Ben. Joel,
Yes.
Don Anzavino,
Yes.
E. John Rock,
Yes.
Marty,
Yes.
no Elliot. Vaughn,
yes.
and no Enoch. All right, we're open. All right, so we got a bunch of stuff today, mostly cleaning up where we've been going the last week or so on all the changes. Got the revenue update, which I haven't seen yet. Maybe we can put that up. And I sent out a spreadsheet today, kind of laying out the ideas of how we're gonna go about trying to solve the deficit and fund a bunch of articles. You should have got that earlier. All right, so I guess the first thing we need to talk about is we got some contract information today from the superior officers. Can somebody put up the little chart we got? Somebody share that? And then Robin, can you just explain the contract?
Sure. Hold on one second. Let me try to pull up and share my screen. So you can see I believe you all should have the MOU.
Nope.
I sent it the other day. I forwarded it to you guys, I believe. No, nobody has it?
Which one is that, Robin?
The MOU for superior officers, it says, I think it says 19 to 23. It's the 1 year and a 4 year, a 1 year and a 3 year.
We do not have the MOU.
No.
the only thing I have, it says fiscal impact of superior law.
Okay, I
superior
sent that
officers.
today. I thought I had sent the MOU, something may have gone wrong in sending it. I will send it right now. I apologize for that.
On March 29th, we got an email that said, "Good afternoon. I just
Yep.
received word," that one there.
That's it.
but there's no MOU attached to that email.
Oh, no.
It said, I just received word the officers did ratify, not sure how long in public hearing, but it doesn't. And then at the bottom it says, I will get you copies of the MOA this afternoon, but we never received anything after.
Okay, and I did forward it, but I must have messed up somewhere. So let me, I apologize for that. Let me forward it right now. Vaughn, I'm gonna forward it to you,
Okay.
and if you could share it, I apologize for that. I wanted to let you know it was coming. Apparently, it was as good as it got that day.
Hey,
Okay.
Ed, you said you sent us something today. Did you send it through Vaughn?
Yeah,
Yes, I sent that out today. Chairman sent an email today at, I don't know, about 11 o'clock or so. And I forwarded that out at 12:59, I think.
Sources to resolve the budget?
Yeah, that one, Dan.
Okay.
And then did you also receive the fiscal note that I sent around 4 or 5 o'clock to go with this contract? I think I sent this to Vaughn and Ed and maybe Mr. Anzavino.
yeah. we got
Okay.
that.
That was
And
forwarded out.
that's a simple document. That's just to give you what the budgetary impact is. Vaughn, did that come through?
Yep, I'm gonna send it out right now.
Beautiful, thank you. I apologize for
You're
that.
welcome.
So I'll start briefly just chatting about this a little bit. So as you know, we had settled and ratified the patrol contract last year. We had started to negotiate with our superior union, and I'm going to, if it's all right, share quickly a screen before you do, Vaughn, if it's okay.
You're all set.
Okay, so I'm going to share screen here. And what you're seeing here is a comparable of our department and Randolph, particularly Randolph and Norwood, which are the ones we tend to go by, and you can see Sharon and Canton as well. Our police sergeants are paid relatively on par, though other departments do have some bonuses that would put them higher than our sergeants. Norwood is our comparable community. They get a significantly higher education bonus. So it does put their 78,000 for sergeants a little bit disproportionately higher than ours. Where the real discrepancy fell was the lieutenants. So our lieutenants on average make between 5,000 and 8,000 a year less than surroundings. And if you look at Sharon, it's dramatic. Sharon only has lieutenants in the union, they don't have sergeants. Where you see Randolph, they have sergeants in the union, they don't have lieutenants. So that's where that little bit of confusion is. It's not all apples to apples. And then you have to look out to see what their other benefits are to try to make it apples to apples. But generally, what we found was the sergeants are slightly underpaid and the lieutenants are pretty dramatically underpaid. So initially I had offered to work on adjustments for those and then move forward with the MOA. They agreed to do a 1.5 1-year, very similar to patrol, and a 3-year, which is what we ended up with. But during the course of the negotiations, we had offered some pretty good adjustments, but there were some debates over management rights and whatnot, and ultimately they asked to take it to mediation. We spent months and months in mediation, and eventually ended up at arbitration, a 3A hearing, and prior to it going to arbitration, we were able to settle with this. The arbitrator believed that this was a fair agreement, and it actually mirrors patrol exactly. It does help get the lieutenants to a closer range to where they should be. It puts them probably where they should be. We knew from what I've researched in the history that it was going to take 2 to 3 contract cycles for our police, both superior and patrol, to be able to come to comparable salaries with other surroundings. So this would be the last of those contracts where they would have sort of disproportionately higher numbers than any of the other unions. Because if you noticed, our other unions are all 2, 1.75, 1.5, maybe a 2.5 in there. This is the only union that has some slightly dramatic out years. And that was really to account for the adjustment. So I just wanted to share that with you quickly so you can see.
The only problem is we don't have that.
I can forward that to you. I just got that in tonight. I can forward that to you. Or pull that up tonight.
Ed, everything that we've received within the past half hour or whatever, you know, I don't know how you expect us to even go through it and reasonably discuss it. We haven't even seen it in time to review it. Just my opinion.
I understand. I mean, I'm on, I can,
Could I ask a question to the town manager, Eddie?
Sure.
Robin, one town just has lieutenants, one town just has no lieutenants.
Mhm.
So I can see why certain people are getting paid a lot more than ours. We have both lieutenants and sergeants, so you're spreading you're spreading money over more people than. You know
no,
what I mean?
they have sergeants. Their sergeants were just in a different union and we didn't have that information.
Oh,
They
all right.
all have sergeants and lieutenants. They just may not be in a union or maybe in different unions.
Oh, all right.
So yeah, it's a little confusing and it was really hard to pull an apples to apples together.
'Cause
One group of
I was gonna say, if they didn't have them, then that's where there's.
Oh, yeah. I wish I had that kind of money to spread around. And even if you look, I think it was Canton, the sergeants are actually in the patrol union. And just lieutenants are in a separate union. So it's a little confusing. But if Vaughn, do you want to share that, that MOA? So again, it
Yeah, do you
mirrors,
want to share it? You have it right there? You can share
yeah,
it.
I have trouble sharing a PDF for some reason.
Oh, okay.
It won't let me share a PDF. I can share Word and Excel.
I have it. You want it?
Yeah, do you want to share away?
I'll take it from anybody who can share this for me. Because I had trouble with the PDF with Speyer the other night. So generally though, just to give you an overview, it is exactly the same contract, here we go, that Patrol had. So it's a 1 year initially, which is for 1920, and that's a 1 year, 1.5 agreement. And if you scroll down, we do have to clear up, it says July 1st of 16 to 19. So there is this was all sort of happening as we speak, and I apologize for this. They didn't ratify until I think it was Monday morning. So that's a 1 year, 1.5, and they included in theirs, also would have the same COVID 1 hour out of the CARES money for the decontamination hour, if you will, that we gave to Patrol as well. So they have 1 hour of that. It comes right out of CARES money. It does not impact our direct budget. And then we go into the 3 year. Again, it mirrors exactly Patrol. It's literally the same language. If you scroll down, COVID hour through December 30th. They agreed to get rid of the bylaw versus the contract. We've been trying to get that language out for a while now. So they did agree to that. The agency fee is the Janus language that I've talked to you all about, based on the Supreme Court decision. You can scroll down from there. Yep. And here's the wages. Again, mirrors Patrol. It's a 1.5, 2.52, and a 3.25. And what you will see is the traditional longevity later on down the road is gone. They have a couple of longevity senior steps, but the longevity itself is gone. That's also taken into account in some of these numbers. And you can scroll down. The grievance procedure. This is something we wanted, and they were willing to add it in. Their contract had indefinite time that somebody could file a grievance. So you could, 3 months after you think you've been aggrieved, file a grievance 3 months later, or 4 months later, or 6 months later. We had nothing that limited the timeliness of a grievance. And that's really important from a management standpoint. That was huge. Our other contracts have timeliness for grievances, but you can't wake up one day a year later and say, you know what, I think I was aggrieved a year ago and I want to file that grievance. We really needed to get rid of that language. We scroll up, the education incentives now mirror Patrol as well. Clothing and equipment, they agreed to the revolving fund, which means they can only buy from that fund, and then whatever doesn't get expended stays in the town. And we call it a revolving fund. It's not officially revolving. It basically is a voucher system. And then they also agreed to delete and reduce their clothing allowance by $200. They, like Patrol, they were receiving 30 minutes of overtime every shift for roll call. Patrol was receiving 15. They were receiving a half hour of overtime every day, every shift for roll call. They agreed to switch that over to compensatory time, the same way the patrol does, that it can't trip overtime. Their detail rates went up to match patrol. When a lieutenant or a sergeant is out on the street doing a detail, they typically get paid the same as patrol would get paid. We replaced the old longevity. We no longer have 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. We've eliminated many of the steps in between, and we have 5, 12, and 25, 1%, 1.5, and 3.25 respectively. They had flat rate before, but when you calculated it out, this actually ends up being a savings because we're giving it less often. It compounds, but we are giving it less often. So in the short term, in the first few years, it's actually a savings. And that's where, again, offsetting some of that wage calculation. Holidays, they agreed instead of getting overtime for anything on a holiday, they typically got overtime 1.5 for 8 hours, which they actually worked on the holiday in addition to the holiday pay. They agreed to give up that 1.5, that overtime 1.5 time, and have that converted to 4 hours of compensatory time. So there's a little bit of a savings for us. They remember this is only a 12-person union, so the savings are just proportionally smaller and the costs are proportionally smaller. Vacation leave, this is amended to reflect 2 personal days. This is to match the bylaw. The clothing and equipment allowance is added to the base. That 1,200 actually has to get adjusted because now it's actually 500 in cash payout and the revolving. So I do have to change that language and work with them on that. And you see down below, it's actually corrected there. That number, it's going to roll into the base. And then the duration. And that's pretty much it. What I do want you to, if you also take a peek at, I sent you the fiscal note for this. I don't know, Vaughn, if you want to post that, or I can probably post the fiscal note if you want. So to let you know how much this all is going to cost, I can pull that up right now. And I apologize, I forwarded Sue's whole email where she said, please don't show all my notes because she had all her little work done on it. Sue, we were getting into Sue's head apparently, watching how she does her work, which God bless her. Don't always know how she does it. Okay, let me just, I will share that. So ultimately our goal is there's no automatic 2.5. Some of these guys were getting 2.5s prior. There is no more of that. There's no more longevity at the every 5-year number. There is an adjustment that would get them to approximately comparable. And now let me see if I can share my, Here we go. So this is the 2020 MOA. This is the 1.5 increase. And this change would be about 14,000, and Bill knows that we can encumber this, and I believe we can pay that out at this point, even though it's a little later. Why can't I scroll down? And then here's below is the 3-year. She shows the impact against an increase of the 2.5 for comparative purposes. Longevity is included beginning in 2021, while the impact of the step increases for the same year's net increase in the education incentive, as you see it. Clothing allowance would be included in the pay and stays flat, and an annual savings of 1,200. So basically, it comes out, the fiscal impact of this, as you can see, comes out to the, where'd she get the 12.4? About 26,000 in 21, 23,000 and change in 22, and in the out year 34,000. I could tell you we had built in enough in the Superior contract, in the Superior budget, in the police department budget to withstand this. So this did not go over what we had thought we might have to do in a negotiation. Well, that's it.
So all the stuff.
Yeah, Ed, can we, as far as questions are concerned, can we hold off until tomorrow if we have any questions? Give us a chance to review the information, you know,
Yeah.
gather our thoughts and review it as far as that's concerned. A lot of information.
Yeah, Yeah, we can put, till tomorrow,
Thank you.
give it a chance to look at that information.
Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to Article 14, the Thea collective bargaining contract, status.
So I just got an email back from Mary. There were two small items we're still going back and forth on. I don't know how you all want to handle this. I literally could have something next week, but it's not going to make the April 1st. So I don't know if you want me to, I feel badly asking them to wait till a special, but I don't know what else to do at this point. Or I just do Zoom presentations on it and we take it to the floor, which I prefer not to do. But I don't know what to do. And I hate punishing this last group of employees. We've been going back. We have been negotiating. It really got delayed terribly, this particular group with COVID. And I don't know what to do at this point. I understand and respect your desire to see this and the importance of you seeing the contracts, but I also don't want to hurt the employees and make them wait till the fall.
Well, if we can hang it on COVID, then you can bring it towards the floor and you wouldn't have anything to worry about. If we review it.
Yeah, it's a relatively, it's going to be pretty straightforward. It's going to be very similar to SPEA.
I tell them to step it up so that,
I'll try to have it by literally. Yeah, and they've tried. It's a matter of, I send something, it's 3 or 4 days. They send something, it's 3 or 4 days. Everybody, but before you know it, 3 weeks have gone by and we're going back and forth. It's a relatively simple contract. I just can't divulge too much because they haven't shared it with their body yet, and that would be unfair. It's going to be a lot like SPEA from the standpoint of there's nothing really heavily nuanced in it. It is just more than anything the COLAs. But what I will tell you is if we are able to do that without divulging too much, it would be the last of the contracts that it would be the end of the grid, if you will. So, which is huge for me to not have people getting automatic 2.5s every year is big for the town. So that's about all I can say at this point, but I'm hopeful to have something. What I'll do is I'll just update you tomorrow if we looks like they're going to go to a ratification, and I'll let you guys know. And if you could call a special, I know the votes wouldn't be in, but if you want to call a special so you review it before town meeting does, I'm fine with whatever you all want to do. I just hate to have one contract outstanding for a group of employees that, they're not our highest paid employees in town. I really would hate to leave them behind if we can avoid it.
I'm not sure what you mean by call a special. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Well, if you called a special finance committee meeting in a week to have you all review it, I know the votes wouldn't make the book, but I don't know if you can call a meeting and at least review it if you wanted to. I just don't know. I'm just offering whatever option you all would want if you want me to try to bring this forward. I would like to try to bring this forward. But, I do know it's better to have these vetted by FinCom before I take a contract to the floor if we can avoid it.
Well, after what happened last year, again, it's kind of a moot point, but I don't know. All right, well, anyways, that's where that's at. So,
Hopefully I'll have more tomorrow. If I have more information tomorrow.
We'll deal with the 2 contracts tomorrow, Article 13 and 14.
Thank you.
By a chance, I'll read up that material. Okay. I can't believe how much stuff we have to do. Can anybody call up the new revenue sheet, where we got out today, and share it?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to apologize for getting those things out so late. I had connection just this morning. I plan on getting you the revenue sheet and the deficit recap this morning, but I had connection issues, and then I had to drive to Chelsea to get the second shot. So,
Oh, wow.
that's why it's out so late. So, normally I would have it to you ahead of time.
We know
Thanks,
that.
Marty.
All right, so all right, let's go down to near the bottom. Where are we at the deficit? What's our bottom line now, 377?
377,929.
Okay, that's where we are as of tonight. All right, Bill, that includes, the Southeast Regional adjustment from the selectmen voting last night, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And for anybody else that didn't watch the meeting, we asked them for considering a rate increase on sewer, to help the deficit, but they declined to raise the rates. So, there'll be no relief there. And then they did the Southeast Regional, something about the ESSER 2 grant that Southeast Regional got. It reduced our assessment. Our assessment would have went up if it wasn't for the ESSER 2 grant, but 66 comes off the top, and we netted about 18,000 down. So that's where we are as of tonight. Okay. I think we need to go on an assumption for to balance the budget first, and that'll have a little bit of free cash fall out, and then we can start looking at the articles and how we're gonna pay for them. So I guess, Mr. Rowe, what is the mechanics or the best way to, we're gonna cover the snow budget, so we can take out the 400. Obviously, we can't vote till May 1st, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. You could kind of like have an understanding now that, you know, if you're going to transfer money from other departments' budgets on May 1st, then go to town meeting with a snow and ice deficit of 0. If you have an understanding, but you've got to have some contingency, because that's select board and FinCom. So if the select board for some reason, or the board, the FinCom decided at that time not to vote it from other departments, you know, let's say for example they had an emergency and some department couldn't contribute, then the understanding might be with the FinCom that, you know, we would transfer it from the reserve fund, which only needs your approval, not the select board. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but we already went through the exercise of talking to all department heads, and this is what this list was that we sent out today, so
Right.
it's kind of headed by everybody, so we all should be on the same page.
I'm just saying it has to be voted by both the committee and the select board, whereas the reserve fund only has to be voted by the FinCom. So you may want to, as long as there's an understanding or a resolution or something, it doesn't have to be binding, but you might want a resolution that says that if for some reason the select board does not transfer that money out, then we will transfer it from the reserve fund into snow and ice. Just a thought.
Why is everything getting so hard to do?
Just out of curiosity, we're locked in at 400,000 for the snow budget, or is that just a deficit? You know, is that just a deficit number after everything else was paid? Like, what is 400,000? Is that everything? That's our total cost?
So that was the placeholder number to start. As of a week or so ago, it's around 372.
Okay.
Yep. We'll be pretty close to 400, Mr. Chair, because
Yeah.
I think there might be some indirect costs that, not indirect costs, but fixed costs that he wasn't figuring, like the telephones and things like that, telephone allocation. So we'll be pretty close to the 400. Hopefully we won't be over it. I haven't looked at it lately, but.
Okay. Because that included the, what's the name? Mr. Fitzgerald said there's another 30 coming, which we were at 342 plus the 30 would give us 372, and then a few more stuff you might have, so.
We
it
should be good at 400, I hope.
Okay.
I always say that, and every year it winds up with a little bit over.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Through you to Mr. Rowe, will we have enough money turnbacks to cover that, to cover the whole 400,000? Do you think at this point? I mean, I'm not going to hold you to it, but.
My understanding that Robin and the chair did speak to department heads about having money left over that could be used to eliminate the snow deficit. So I haven't talked personally to department heads.
Yeah, that's the sheet I sent out today, everybody to look at. We went, about a week ago, we did the same sheet, and it was vetted with Robin. She went through and adjusted everything, and this is kind of where we're at. So we do have enough encumbrances to 21 if we have to do the transfers to cover the snow.
There's about a little more than 220,000 of it right off the bat that was the money back last June or July in the summer when or in August, we did the special that I said to you that I had been able to secure by just some restrictive hiring and restrictive spending. And we knew we were already going to have about 220 at that point. And we probably recover good another 200, 250. So we just held on everything, restrictive spending, restrictive hiring, left positions vacant as long as we could. And we've been able, because we knew that next year's revenue calculation was going to be very challenging. It may not be a real revenue calculation, but it's how we have to do it. So it's presenting a challenge, and we just held on. I did my best to hold on to that money as best as I could.
All right, so I guess we need to balance the budget first and then redo the sheet here and see what falls out. And then we'll know our starting point. So my sheet I sent out to everybody today, those are the accounts I want to do the transfers from to cover the snow. So if everybody's okay with doing that, we should have a vote that that's the intent here.
Can somebody bring that sheet up?
I have it on my screen. If you want me to share?
Yeah, great.
Ed, I have a question. This is Dave. Once you get the sheet on the
Okay.
screen, if that's okay. I had a little bit of confusion on here. There's this thing on the left-hand side, toward the bottom, capitalization, but it's just words in the middle of the page without anything next to it. Is there a number that we're attempting to either leave? Are we looking to add money to stabilization? Are we looking to take money out of stabilization? So it's just floating in the middle of the page without
I
any
just
kind
left
of...
it down there. If after we're done with the articles and doing this stuff, if anything's left, I would use whatever was left in the FinCom reserve to deposit to stabilization.
Okay.
And I'm
And-
hoping we can put in 200, but
We have 350 on the bottom in reserve. That's the real number that we have.
yeah.
Okay. And I think my last, I think that might be, there's one other question. I'm looking. Okay, so the FinCom reserve number is the 150 is what you would take from the reserve to balance the budget against the 121,870,
That's the kind of thinking for right now, yeah.
and that would leave whatever it would be. What is that? 29 or 28 and change. Okay.
And this is what we're gonna kind of try to do here.
All right. I appreciate it. I didn't quite understand, but now I do. Thank you.
Okay. So you can see from the sheet here under deficit of March 25th, instead of 396, it's 377,929 as of tonight. It went down just a little bit. So we kind of reserved around the 370. We'll have to probably hit the debt service account for 10 grand just to make the math work. And then that would take care of the snow, the 400. And then we're good.
Yeah, through to you, Ed. So this material in front of us was shared with other departments to make sure that we were on solid ground with this recommendation, or how many?
Yes, this
people-
was the sheet I sent out about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Everybody to look at, and then Robin looked at it, marked it up, talked to department heads, and came back with some changes, and then this is the summation of those changes.
Now, do we also understand that the 177,000 from the leftover, I think Article 19 from last year, that the schools were talking about, is that going to be money that we're still aiming to make available for stabilization, or are we looking at potentially grabbing that money to plug the hole here?
Well, no, that's money to be used to fund articles.
To fund as cash for articles?
Right.
All right, okay.
The left side is from the 21 budget to balance the 22 budget, or take out the snow budget, making us whole. And then the right side is, these are sources for finding the money to deal with the Article 19, the capital stuff, and try to pay for as much stuff as we can with cash.
Okay, so what do you want from us then? Because it looks like you have numbers here that make it work. So if it works for the departments, then do you want us to just accept this and move on, or what would you like to do?
I'd like it explained.
Okay.
Okay. As you all know, we got a 377,929 deficit, which includes the 400 for snow. So if we pay off the 400 with those accounts on the left side from the 21 budget on transfers to the snow budget, then the deficit goes away. This is almost the same thing we did last year.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. O.
you don't have anything left in the Cedar Hill subsidy. That's 60,895. That's all been transferred. You may be looking at a periodic report, but you know that's all been transferred in the last quarter. So that balance is zero.
Oh, well, Robin gave me that number, all right.
Mr.
Well-
Chairman, in reference to the previous speaker, where was it transferred to?
The subsidy, so the transfer goes from the general fund to the Cedar Hill fund. So we transfer cash out to the Cedar Hill fund, the enterprise fund, in accordance with the town meeting appropriation.
I thought for some reason we weren't gonna have to transfer that last 15 bill. I thought we assumed we would have 15 extra that we didn't need to transfer this year, that's all.
Okay, yeah, no, they make you transfer the whole thing.
Okay, I think it's actually gonna be more than we need that. I included that because I think we were gonna be 15,000 ahead, but that's,
Okay.
if we can't, we can't.
So, through you, Mr. Chairman, so the Cedar Hill subsidy, that line on the left-hand side that's 15 now, really should be 0, is that correct?
Correct,
Okay,
correct.
that means we transferred all of the Cedar Hill subsidy from the general fund to the enterprise fund, is that correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so that means the math on the left-hand side is off about 15,000. All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So we'll have to find, Bill, what about the debt service account? On the February 25th, your February budget, there's like 125 that left in there on the short-term interest. Is some of that available?
I want to check with Paula. I don't think Paula's on. If you want to, I can run a report and take a look at it. I mean, you could leave it. You could leave it as you could take 15 out of the reserve fund for now if you wanted to, or And then, if we have service, we could flip it, you know. The reserve fund's always there, but of course, you know, you want to make sure you leave enough stuff for emergencies. But that's pretty good. I mean, if you have all these sources, that's good.
Yeah, well, that was the intent when we did this a few weeks ago.
Right.
All right, well, I think we can find the extra 15 somewhere if we have to. The idea would be to zero out the 400,000 from various transfers within the 21 budget.
That makes sense, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, to anyone who can answer this, are the rest of the numbers on the left accurate though? Or are we gonna look for other money, or is everything accurate except the Cedar Hill subsidy?
Well, as to the best of my knowledge, based on discussion with Rob and her markup of the sheets we sent out, this is what came back that's available, so I'm assuming we're good.
Does Mr. Rowe maybe know if any of those numbers are incorrect or not available anymore? I just want to double check everything before we look for 15 and find out we
Yeah.
have 50.
No, I would have to defer to the department heads, but I think Robin's already done that. But they look reasonable. Dispatch, I'm not too familiar with, but
That's because the grant is likely to come in.
okay,
So, yeah,
okay,
we're waiting on that grant money to come in, but it's on its way.
yeah. The others look reasonable.
So through you, Mr. Chairman, if a grant doesn't come in, are we going to be short more numbers here?
Well, we'll just find some other budgets to take it from.
Actually, we're probably about 67 ahead in that. That 50 is a conservative number.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, so we should have enough wiggle room in there.
All right, thank you. I just wanted to kind of have an idea in case
Yep.
the grant check doesn't show up in the mail or whatever. So, thank you.
I never count my money till it's in my hand, so.
Mail has running slow.
Huh?
The mail has been running slow.
Yeah, there's a trust in the USPS right now for that.
All right.
Yeah,
Excuse
but
me, we
could,
had-
I think you could eliminate the 400 from the revenue sheet and call it good, with the understanding that, you know, the select board has to vote those transfers as well, so.
Yeah, as far as the timing or the dates, we'll have to meet after May 1, right? To do, you know,
Might have
Actual-
before town meeting or something like that, you know.
well, the way the calendar falls, May 3rd's the Monday, so there is no May 1. It's a Saturday or Friday, whatever it is. And, so we'd have to do it on Tuesday, May 4th. And then
Yeah,
town
that's-
meeting's 3rd and the 5th.
As long as it's done before July 15th.
All right.
Excuse me, Ed, Dave, through to you. I think an earlier speaker who said they wanted to hear an explanation of the sheet, because the sheet itself is a little bit difficult to follow, because you have the left-hand side, and it looks like those are revenue sources that are coming out after scraping the budget. This is money found out of the earlier budget. Then on the right-hand side, there's other FY21 adjustments for articles. So that would be this year's budget that has leftover funds that we could use toward next FY22, right? So you
Well,
have,
it's-
the left-hand side is scraping FY22's budget, and the right-hand side is leftover money from articles and other sources in the right-hand side to find sources of money.
No.
Want me to address
They're
that?
both,
I want to make sure we're clear about what we're looking at, I think, is what
yes.
it came up earlier as, you know, to move this forward,
They're
just,
both,
you know, to
from-
really get a clear understanding that,
they're both from FY21 budget, all this stuff.
okay.
There's nothing to do with 22.
Yeah, there was nothing to cut in 22s.
So, Ed, let
Oh,
me.
if I could, I
Wait a minute,
am,
let me just ask, you just took the 15,000 out of the Cedar Hill subsidy. That went down to zero. But on the right-hand side, you got Cedar Hill and we got 200,000 available. What,
No, that's the, funding for the articles. That's the Article $19 request.
okay, so this is the money you need for the articles.
Yeah, the bottom part is the article dollars. The top part is the sources to pay for them.
All right, that's what I was asking. What are we looking at here? So the top
All right.
half are the potential sources. And the bottom is the money needed.
Right.
Ed, is that 66,000 in weeds, dropped down to 56,000?
I don't know. I don't know if it's worth the aggravation.
No, well, that was, so if the bottom is the source available, then why does it show that we're short by 121,000? If the source,
Because,
is that going from the, you said the bottom is what's required. Okay.
required, right?
All right, I'm looking
Yeah.
at it one way and I'm seeing it a different way. So that's the 121,
That's
870.
against the
Sure.
482 above it, right?
Probably, if they had raised the sewer rates to 1.38%, they probably would have closed that out pretty well, huh?
Well, it's an election year.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
you know what? It could get to a point where people start pushing, if the enterprise fund isn't self-sufficient, get rid of it. Because that's what the law requires, huh? I couldn't believe
Yes, it
we
does.
filed on that last night and ended up backing off and not even doing that. How about send it back and tell them to balance it and get it to us by tomorrow? This is ridiculous, Ed. We waste all this time trying to balance a budget that's supposed to come to us balanced.
Yep.
So, let me get this straight. On the top right are sources of cash from this FY21 budget that we can use to pay cash for FY22 articles. Is that correct?
Well, for warrant articles, yeah.
Right. So the bottom right hand are the warrant articles, but they're for FY22, right? And we're trying to fund them with free cash or what?
Yeah. 21
Okay.
extra dollars. Make it work.
But there's not really a deficit. The 121 we could finance through debt if we wanted to, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Or we could
I mean,
take it from the
it's real-
FinCom reserve. That was the bottom
Right.
number.
Right. It's not
But
a deficit.
no, we needed a point of beginning, and that's what this is.
But we do, through the actual budget, have enough to, right, by offsetting that snow number, to cover the budget gap. Separate from that free cash versus borrowing question.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir, Mr. Rowe.
Yeah, in reference to Mr. Rock's question, we do segregate current year and next year articles within the annual town meeting warrant. So if these sources are funded, funding articles, those articles would become 21 articles, and the other articles, like the borrowing articles, would be 22 articles. And the advantage, obviously, of having the 21 article cash funded is, it's available for immediate expenditure. 5 days after adjournment, they don't have to wait for bond council clearance for borrowing. So
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do, at least for Cedar Hill anyways. All right. Are everybody kind of clear on what we're trying to do here? All right. So I guess I would ask for a general motion that we will find the 400,000 for the snow to cover it from
Eddie.
various 21 accounts.
Before we get to that point, I got a question for you. I just wanted to
Okay.
bring this up. Is, the other night when we were talking about Cedar Hill, and it was suggested we swap the Cedar Hill with the fire department, since they were close in value. And So we do that, and that was, you know, supposed to be so that the cash was there and Cedar Hill could get the stuff quicker than if they had to wait for bond counsel. So my question is, if we do that, when would they be getting that? Two questions. When would they actually get the equipment if it went this way rather than if it had to go through bond counsel? I mean, are they going to actually have the equipment in time for this year regardless? And then the second part would be, by doing that, by paying cash for the Cedar Hill and borrowing for fire, then the fire becomes debt service that we pay for. And the Cedar Hill, which should have been paying for its own equipment through its enterprise fund, now doesn't get hit with that loan.
Right.
Which to me is another subsidy for the golf course.
Well, if you borrow the money, you're gonna have to pay it anyway to the subsidy, so what's the difference?
Well, the difference is Cedar Hill should be self-sufficient, right? So
That's the theory, but it hasn't been for years, so we don't want to.
I understand, but that would have been assigned to the enterprise fund, correct? If that had to be borrowed, it would have been borrowed against the enterprise fund.
Yes.
But now it's going to be borrowed for the fire department. It's just going to go out on the. It's just going to go in the debt service as opposed to through the enterprise fund, which might end up getting subsidized anyways through it. But the question becomes, how much quicker are they going to get this equipment? Will they actually have it in time to make a difference for this year compared to if they had to wait? I know when it was mentioned the other night, and I voted for it. I thought it was a good idea, made sense. You know, on the fly, you were swapping 210 for 200. Same difference really. So, but how much quicker would they get this? I mean, from what Bill just said, if we end up voting this, whatever, in May, and it's coming from cash, then they'll be able to spend it. How long will it take to get the equipment? In other words, are they going to have it to make a difference for this season?
Eddie?
Okay, anybody answer that one? Go
I
ahead.
think Carrara has a question.
No, I don't have, I got a statement.
Oh,
If-
sorry.
If Victor knows that we're gonna give him the cash, he's gonna move forward with the stuff he already has on paper. He's already got the stuff lined up. He said that it might go up 3%, but he's already got his bids out pretty close to what he needs. This stuff is just waiting to be sold. So if he gets the money, he'll be pulling them through the door probably within a month.
I thought the
It isn't going to be like he's going to get them in September. They'll go out and get them for him. If not, they'll get him a piece that he can use until that comes
Yeah,
through
but-
the door
yeah.
because we'll have a lock on.
Yeah, through you, Ed, I think what that question was that John had is when you go to bond counsel, how much time do you lose for getting
You're
him?
not bonding this money.
No,
This is
No, he
cash.
wants-
no, I know, we were,
Well, Bill can tell you that.
Cedar
We
Hill's
went-
going to be cash.
I know, but Bill, what's the-
Chairman?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us what you told us the other night.
I think John's question was, when would Victor be able to order the stuff if we funded it with cash as opposed to making it a borrowing article? The earliest would be July 1st if it's a borrowing article. That's assuming we could get all the paperwork together for bond counsel. The advertisements, the public hearing notices, the minutes, any other stuff that we have, useful lives.
That's
things like
not the
that.
question.
But,
That's not the
Well,
question.
it is, because that, it would mean they couldn't order it until July 1st, as opposed to, at the earliest, would be July 1st, because they'd have to wait for the fiscal year.
If it's cash funded, it would be 5 days after adjournment.
so,
But-
yeah.
But if
That's-
you go
this is what
cash,
Oh,
if-
God,
say we
nobody's
finish-
listening.
Scott,
we
excuse me,
finish
John.
town meeting, let's say, in 2 weeks. So you're done on the 12th. Let's say the 15th, whatever. You're done mid-May. It'd be able to go right out because that's cash. There's nothing else needs to be approved, correct, Bill? If town meeting votes it for cash, once town meeting closes, he can go out 5 days later and spend the money. Is that correct?
Sounds to me.
Bill, you still there?
Oh, sorry, I was muted, sorry.
All right.
Yeah, the charter allows for 5 days for any petition to challenge an article. But
Right.
after that, then, yeah, it would be
Right,
available.
so if it's voted cash, don't have to wait for the AG for nothing. He can go out 5 days later and spend it.
That's right.
All right, so if,
Sounds to me.
essentially, he could go out and tell him he wants it on May 20th and get it in, whatever it takes to get it. As opposed to if it went through bond council, the earliest you're gonna get it would be, he could go after it would be
Well, you're
July
looking at
1st, and we know it's not gonna be ready by then.
You're losing at least
Well,
2 months.
we hope it'll be ready
You're
by then.
losing at least 2 months of this.
We're getting better with bond council, I think.
Yeah?
We'll see.
I thought Jess said, and we looked at, that we were gonna bond the fire department stuff and pay cash for this Cedar Hill stuff.
That's what we voted. And the question I had tonight, since we'll actually be doing the cash for Cedar Hill
We voted.
and borrowing for fire, whereas if you had borrowed for the Cedar Hill, that would go against the enterprise fund, not so much into the debt. And I was just curious what the difference in timing would be.
I was trying to tell you that the cash is immediate, and he says five days. Victor will start the movement knowing that we're gonna do that, and if he can't get that piece, they're gonna give him a piece to use until the brand new one comes in. But it's gonna be immediate because it's cash. I knew it was 5 days. That's why I was trying to tell you that cash is cash. If
But
we
the-
weren't
I
bond-
understand that, Scott. The point was, I didn't know how much of a delay it would be if they had to wait, if it got bonded.
John, it sounds like you lose a minimum of 2 months of the summer. It's gonna be at least August versus.
If you bond it,
around June.
you're gonna bury the guy. It'll be a long thing because bond council, like he said, won't get it done until July 1st, and then see what happens from there. If something hangs it up or something,
Yeah, well, essentially, you're talking the end of May or beginning of July. That's the difference.
no, it could be further than that.
It could be, but best case would be he could be going out the 1st of July instead of the end of May.
If he has a purchase order cut, even if he's waiting on bonding, wouldn't they loan him something in that case too? If the order's
Not necessarily, because if it doesn't pass bond council or something hangs it up, then the whole thing's gonna go down the city.
Didn't we already vote on this? I mean, are we looking to reverse the vote or what? I mean,
did we
No,
vote?
this was,
We just
this was
discussed
the intent of how we were gonna do it.
yeah,
We
but
didn't do it.
Eddie, I have something for you.
What's that?
If you need to make up the 15,000 for the Cedar Hill subsidy that's missing on this side,
Mm-hmm.
we up town council 30 grand. Why don't we cut it in half and take 15 and make it 281 instead of 296?
Oh, well,
From last year to it was like 260 and 20. They went to 296. That's a 30 up. If we're picking at other things, why don't we take 15 out of there?
You're talking from the budget, Scott?
Yeah. Just lower the budget and shift it over to because they're looking for it. It's got to be real money if we're going to approve the budget at that number. Then why don't we just put it in and wipe out the 15 that Cedar Hill short on this side? Is that doable, Eddie, or is that not?
well, if we reduce the budget, the number will it'll just, be less you need, so, yeah. You just get to the same place. But we'd have to vote that budget for the change, which
Well, I just
changes the
wondered
whole
if
thing.
that's what I could find that's real easy, real quick. Because if we're settling all the contracts now, I don't think we're gonna have too much going on next year.
Well,
But I thought Robin said she could easily find the 15.
I
And
just
so then
found
we
it
don't
for
have-
you.
We don't
I
have to reduce the budget.
There's
I
no
have
need
to,
of going up 30
yeah.
grand, John.
no, I have to say, if we can do it out of 21, I would rather, because, well, yeah, I may not use all that money. Our 22 budget is so tight everywhere. I would hope I'm not gonna have to use that money somewhere else, but I would rather, if I have to, look at where I might have 15,000 somewhere than take the chance on cutting the 22 forward. Because now you're looking at a budget that goes up maybe 1.7%, and you're really putting yourself in a tight spot. I'm not relying on that money to necessarily at the end of the year reconcile, but what you would be doing is any chance of free cash next year is gonna go out the window, because this budget is so tight. I don't guarantee any turnbacks next year on anything. And I would rather just try to find it out of 21 if I have to. But however you guys want to do it. And yeah, you're right. We probably, with if we get all the contracts settled, we'll be in good shape, and we'll start preliminary negotiations. The other thing is, the board has sort of authorized me now to negotiate with unions. If they don't have a lawyer present, I can negotiate without our lawyer. When I got hired, they wanted a lawyer with me all the time. Now I've asked them to sort of relax that a little bit. So our next rounds of negotiations should not be quite as extensive. But that being said, if we have to scrape, I'd rather keep that for turn back next year, because there's not going to be much turn back at all with how tight next year's budget is. Unless, of course, like we said, we're hopeful revenues go up, and then we would have more. But it's just that's the gamble. Up to you guys, your call. I'll scrape 15 somewhere.
I'd rather not. We can do the debt service. There's probably money in there, 15 grand. The short-term interest. We have to grab 15 somewhere.
Eddie, are you looking for a motion to approve this approach?
Yeah, it's basically what I'm looking for. You guys, at least the left side, to balance the budget.
We having
we
a
will-
motion to take
we
care of the
will,
snow, I think is the question.
We will look to accounts on 21 for transfers to zero out the snow budget. Would be the intent.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to adopt what you just said. The money saved from FY21 to cover the snow deficit.
Yeah, we'll find the money to do the transfers to cover the deficit, the snow budget.
Right. So I'd like to make that motion.
All right, do I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Chairman?
Okay. Yes, Bill.
Yeah, did you want to, as long as you know that has to be voted by the Select Board and FinCom, subject to vote by the Select Board and FinCom after May 1st. So
All right, subject to the board,
I would
approving also.
add it to the motion.
I would think they would do it. I cannot believe they would never do it.
So,
Yeah,
Mr.
but-
Chairman, that motion there, did we find the other 15 though? I guess would be my
No,
question.
it didn't get identified. So we have 15,000 that's just sort of loose out there that they're gonna,
I'll find it.
it has to be, yeah, but we had,
Well, you do short-term
we
interest, you
have
can
to have
grab
a,
the
we have
15
to have a
grand.
source, Robin, because otherwise it's just a loose,
Yeah, we
15
needed
that's
to
just
find
hanging.
motion here, not mystery money on the 15. That's what I'm thinking.
I think, there were ideas mentioned, maybe it could be, I don't know if you're allowed to do a vote based on a bid, because, Dr. Grimm prefers to move something else out for 15.
Yeah, as long as we can find 400 grand, then that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, how you find it doesn't necessarily have to be in the vote. It's just where I can find it to give
Yeah.
you.
No, but we want to identify the source, Dr. Grimm, so can we use the idea that was suggested, where we take money out of council, whatever, negotiation money, and move it over, since most of your contracts are wrapping up?
I'm just not thrilled about the precedent of going into the 22 budget, if we could, or going into a future budget when I may have the money, when I know I have the money somewhere, 15,000 in 21's budget. I can do, I mean, you originally looked at possibly 200,000 on the police. you know, could I do 155 there and a little bit somewhere else? Probably so. Originally, Pat had told me 25 or 20,000 on library.
We're only looking for 15.
Right, so I went conservative is what I'm saying. I might on a couple of those be able to tweak them a little bit and be fine. I just need to take a look and talk to a director tomorrow. I just don't,
Well,
you
in
know.
order to help us out,
Good.
if you don't mind, help us out with getting identify a source to close out the 15,000.
Yeah.
So
How about FinCom reserve for 15,000?
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, he walked away.
Mr. Desmond,
Yes.
I think you need 45,000.
What?
Taking the 15 away, that brings it down to 355.
Okay.
And what was the deficit? 377?
400, right?
37, yeah.
What is it?
377 with the 400 in it. So you could shave 23, I guess.
Yeah, so it's not 45.
Well, when you look at the sheet that's up on the screen, that was 26 short. You have to add the 15 to that now. That's 41.
Yeah.
But that 396 should be 377, correct?
Right.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm just saying, Eddie said we're looking at this sheet on the left side. That's what we're voting on.
We need to transfer 377 into snow and ice. Yep.
So you're gonna need about 20.
And you're looking for 22.
22. Yeah. I agree.
Okay. So slip the FinCom reserve in there as a placeholder and let's vote on this.
Let's hit the debt service budget.
So Eddie, are you looking at this as far as clearing the snow budget from the 21 funds, subject to approval of transfers by the board and FinCom?
Correct. Like we've done last,
Is that understanding correct?
yes, that's what we've been doing the last 2 years.
And right now, we're looking for 22,000 something?
Yeah, 23.
I don't know, it's,
can I,
it's
can I ask? Can I offer something controversial here? I'm
gonna be around 400.
I want to suggest that
Why is this
somebody.
so hard?
Listen, Eddie. Can you put a document up here that can be edited where we can change the number on the screen?
No,
Or is this
that-
locked in as a PDF and there's no way we can?
it's just a PDF. It's just a reference tool. It's nothing. I mean, these numbers are just, this is where we're hoping to get. They're not locked in. You can get other accounts. It isn't just these
Right.
particular ones, but, so it's just
You're
scraping the,
likely gonna have more.
Right. Mr.
So-
Chairman,
yeah.
can I sort of make a suggestion? If Robin thinks she might be able to find a little bit of money, can we postpone the vote on this till tomorrow evening? I don't know, Robin, if that would be enough time for you to
Absolutely.
find money. And I'm only saying that because after we vote it, the select board has to vote it, and they're not meeting till next week. So it's not like we have to vote this immediately
They don't-
tonight.
Diane, I
No,
don't-
we can't,
It's done by tomorrow.
we can't vote it by, till May 1st.
Yeah, for the transfer. This is just the idea.
This is the commitment to this idea. That's what we're voting on.
Right, and so if I'm telling you I will find you 15,000, I don't know if that would preclude you from voting if I can't do it tonight, or I'll, by tomorrow night, have you a location for that 15, and then you can vote it tomorrow, to Ms. Dolan's point. It would, you know,
I think I would feel much more comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Is it 23,000 or 15,000?
I think it's
That's cool.
23.
Okay.
You're close to the 23. If you
no,
look at,
well, the only change initially from tonight was that there was 15,000 that we can't use from Cedar Hill, and I'm looking to replace that.
Right.
That's
Right.
how I understand this.
So that would bring you to 355.
yeah, the problem is this sheet started at 370, and the sheet we got today, as of 331, the deficit is 377,929.
Right.
So the 7929 still has to be found as well.
So effectively, yeah, so effectively
3.
23,000.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look at it tonight after the meeting and tomorrow morning, and I'll get something to you as early as I can.
Okay, John, is that okay with you, John? I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, through you to John Rock. Is that okay with you, John? We postpone it till tomorrow evening?
I guess so. I mean, I don't know. These are not exact figures anyways. It's just to vote the approach, really. These are just placeholders. It's not an exact, it could come back with much more, more than money than we need. It's not an exact thing, but sure.
Well,
Mr. Chair,
If somebody commits to redoing this for tomorrow, then
well,
fine.
here's the thing, John, no matter what we vote tonight, we can't vote to transfer the funds until May.
Absolutely, I know
So-
that.
Right.
So, since we can't actually transfer the funds until we get to May, if you'll withdraw your motion, I'm gonna try for a different motion and see if we can just move on from here.
Fine, I withdraw the motion.
So, I'm gonna make a motion that we will try to clear the snow budget deficit from 2021 funds. And those funds would have to be approved by transfers, or be transfers that are approved by the board and the finance committee from the FY21 fund.
Second.
All right, any other
Mr.
discussion?
Chair, yeah, very quickly, I'm on with Sue Herman is watching us as she always does. And she's indicating to me that I may be able to likely take 23,000 out of our Medicare line for this year, and that would fill it. And that won't impact anything. That's not gonna put me short on my day-to-day.
Okay,
we
but
could
we don't need to vote
tentatively-
the numbers. We just, John's motion kind of
Yeah.
states what we.
Yeah, tell her,
That's
tell her
right.
thank you anyway, but because we can't do anything till May, just say thank you anyway.
Okay, so we can
Alright.
put that as the placeholder tentative if you'd like.
Yeah.
It's good to know that there's a course that might be available.
Yep,
Yeah.
thank you.
So can we vote on John's motion?
Okay, I think I'm much happier with that motion than,
All right,
Okay,
Ed votes yes. Bob,
Yes.
Chet,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes,
Diane,
yes.
Scott,
Yes.
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 Ben, you here?
Yes and yes.
Joel,
Yes and yes.
Don Anzavino,
Yes, and I wanna know when Ben got here.
John Rock,
I guess.
Marty,
I mean, yeah,
Yes.
yes. Elliot, you here? No. Vaughn
Yes.
and Enoch. Not here yet. All right, we added 13.
And to Mr. Anzavino's question, I arrived at approximately 8:15 because Jess said, "When are you getting here?" And I said, "I'm already here." And that was 8:19.
Just wanna make sure my records are good.
just so you know, Enoch's been here for since at least 8 o'clock, and he's muted, so I don't know if he's hearing the vote.
No.
yes.
Oh, he said yes, you could add Enoch as a yes.
Adam, okay, so it's
Yeah,
14.
Enoch, if you could turn your volume up a little, it would help too, thanks.
What was the vote, Ed?
14.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
can I stop sharing now, or do you still need that up there?
Um,
Could somebody put that up?
I think we're good on that for right now. Well, we're gonna need the other side, but we can put it back up later as we go along, I guess. I don't know.
I
I
wanted
don't
to do,
know. See where it goes, yeah.
when you vote, make sure I get them right.
Yeah.
Stop it for now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bill.
All right. See if we can get any easy stuff done. Article 18, rescind unused borrowing authority. Bill, what was the final number on that? The last sheet that came out?
Yeah, give me a moment, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Did we get that sheet, Eddie?
Yeah, it came in a week ago or something like that. There was a couple small changes to it. It had the state theater on it and the school thing and a bunch of other small stuff.
I thought we had it.
Okay, so there was a revision that I sent out May 25th. So I dropped down the emergency preemption signal by 5,000. So the total is 1,221,613.18.
Did you say that again, Bill?
1,221,613.18.
Thank you.
All right. Any discussion on Article 18? We're just cleaning up some old unused debt. All right, so look for a motion to approve Article 18 for $1,221,613.18.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
And you said that come out on the 25th, Phil?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Ed votes yes. Bob?
Yes.
Chet?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
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 Ben?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
Don Anzavino?
Yes.
D. John Rock?
Yes.
Marty?
Yes.
Elliot, you here? No. Vaughn?
Yes.
Enoch?
Yes.
All right, 14. All right, takes care of that one. All right, let's do Article 17, unpaid bills. $24,870. And on the sheet I sent out, the intent was to use we'll use the crossing guards leftovers or that budget to cover this.
Was that what that was, Ed?
Yeah,
Crossing 24,870?
yeah. Again, these aren't exact. They're gonna move around a little bit, but that's the intent. So we would fund the unpaid bills with the from the crossing guard salary budget, 21 salary budget. Now get a second.
Second.
Mr.
Any other discussion?
Chairman, what's the total of the unpaid bills?
$24,870. Is that right, Bill? Must be muted.
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
Okay. All right. Ed votes yes. Bob?
Yes.
Chet?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
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 Ben,
Yes.
Joel,
Yes.
Don Anzavino,
Yes.
E. John Rock,
Yes.
Marty,
Yes.
no Elliott, Vaughn,
Yes.
Enoch.
Yes.
All right, 14-0. That one's done. Let's do Article, we'll do Article, where is it? Article, 24, Lake Management. For $66,000.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Rowe.
I sent out a spreadsheet tonight. We have a bunch of old small cash articles. If you don't use them, if the select board vote to use them, no, those can't be used for debt service. There's a bunch of small cash articles out there. If you wanted to use those up.
Yeah, fine. How much we talking?
You want me to display it?
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, while Bill is bringing that up, may I ask you about the OPEB article? I don't know if you've discussed it or when you plan to discuss it.
It's coming up shortly.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so you got this sheet today. There's 4 tabs at the bottom. I looked through the closed articles, and I assigned bond proceeds to Articles 19, 20, and 21. Okay, and then I have a listing of cash articles. I didn't do anything with those. Those come to $220,217.14. And the 177,350 is already included in Mr. Chairman's sheet. But there's a bunch of small ones that could be used up as well.
All right, this is cash stuff. This is cash.
If we wanted to go carefully one article at a time, I could apply some of these to the articles.
Yeah.
Just cleans up the ledger,
Yeah, it makes sense. It's cash. That's good. Just curious. The school security. It's 177 you got there. We had 171. What's the?
No, that's 177, Ed.
Was it 177? Okay.
77,350 is correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. Well, let's use up, well, we got 2 vegetation managements. Let's just use up all the small stuff. 220, 217, 14.
2867.14.
How much is the small stuff?
42,867.14.
I didn't catch that. 42, 8.
Then you got 31,000 in free cash if you wanted to use that up.
42,867, Ed. 42,867 and 14. Yeah, it
Okay,
looks.
867.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and free cash. So let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
the 2 Ames Pond ones add up pretty good too. You got,
Yeah.
if you look at those, it's 29,000 right there.
Yeah, that's good. Guess I didn't use it all up from the last time. Well, whatever. All right, so we can grab 42,867 from all of those articles, and we'll take the balance from our free cash balance.
Thank you.
All right, so what's the difference then? 66 minus 42, then you're
Let's see,
looking at
42. 23, 132.86.
Can I stop sharing now, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, that'd be good for right now, yeah.
Okay, so
All right, so,
the only thing left is the 177,350 now.
yep, okay, we'll hang on to that for right now. So that brings us, the Lake Management Article 24 will be 42,867 from the various leftover articles for a bill sheet, and 23,132.86 from free cash, for a total of 66,000. A motion to approve.
Could you give the first number again, Ed?
42,867.14.
Thank you.
So a motion to approve.
You get a second? All right.
Second.
Any other discussion? All right.
So Ed, is this for the $66,000?
Yeah, this is for the 66.
Okay, and we're sure that it's 66 that they're asking for?
Well, that's what the,
Yes.
warrants.
Okay, I thought we got some correspondence that indicated that was 56, but maybe I'm misunderstanding that, but, okay.
Well,
The officer did back, we promised not to go into
he's
the.
offering to do some other stuff, but we're not gonna deal with
Mr.
that.
Chairman, in reference to a previous speaker's statement, yes, there is a reference to $56,000 in the letter. The article is to 66.
Well, the warrant's got 66, so,
Eddie,
who's that?
it's Scott. I spoke to the chairman of the conservation. He was explaining to me the other day why they were doing the 66. It was for their 5th year big take care of that project that it's going. It's in its 5th year where it's supposed to be a big dose. So he asked me not for us to touch their revolving account because it takes a long time to replenish it. So I told him, I says, well, we're just trying to find money to help you out without, hurting the town. And he says, well, I says, if you might think about reducing it to help out, if you can, that might help out. So that's probably where that number came from. They probably looked at it a little harder and said they could get by with the 56. So if you want to just spend the 66, well, that's fine. I mean, they'll be happy with that too.
Yeah, let's not short them. We can turn back some more of these other 2 articles, and we'll get it back later, if you don't use it all. Oh, that's the motion, was the 66. All right, we had a second, let's vote. Okay, Ed votes yes. Bob?
Yes.
Chet?
Yes.
Dave?
Yeah,
Diane?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
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 Ben?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
John Anzavino?
Yes.
E. John Rock?
Hey, okay. Oops.
Hello, John? Okay. Marty?
Yes.
Yes.
Vaughn?
Absolutely yes.
All right. Enoch?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. The pawns will thank you. Okay. So that takes care of that one.
Is that 14, nothing again, Ed?
And for clarification, Mr. Chairman, I know this is called lake management, but I've been told that these are ponds we have in Stoughton. But thank you.
Okay.
hoping to be a lake someday.
Yeah.
Maybe it's magic. They turn into lakes with this treatment program.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced they were talking about the same fund that we were, so.
I don't know, it's a lot of confusion. All right, let's do Article
Remember,
32.
Mr. Anzavino, I think Mr. Rowe was gonna get us clarification, Mr. Anzavino. I remember we talked about that at the last meeting.
I'm gonna do Article 32 is the OPEB article for funding. The motion says it wants to transfer whatever the balance left is, but I don't know if we'll ever really know that number till the last day, so, I think we should do a dollar amount. Sue, do you have any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think there's probably $200,000 in the in the 21 health insurance appropriation. The only thing I would caution you against is on your list that you showed what is available for 21. There was a line in there that said health insurance subsidy, and
Yeah.
I don't know if that's leaving really 170,000 to move into OPEB instead of 200.
I'm not sure. Robin looked at that number and said we could use it, so I'm not sure where it came from.
Actually, that health subsidy line, I thought, Bill, you and I had discussed at one point.
Because we don't really have a health subsidy, so I don't know what that is.
Susan, we gotta look back to the emails. I thought that came from either you or Bill, to be honest with you, so. Let me look.
I had given you a,
Oh, no, that was, Robin, that was the public health VNA subsidy.
Oh, that's VNA, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yep,
Oh,
yep, yep.
okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Yep, thanks,
so
Bill.
in the health insurance appropriation, there's 200,000, you can, move to the OPEB trust.
Do we have
Okay,
to
so-
move, do we have to move the whole 200 over there?
No, you do not.
Could we do a lot less?
You can do whatever you like.
I say we do 80,000.
I think you did 100, was it around 120, 115 last year?
150.
150?
Yeah.
Yeah, just from a bond rating point of view, it might be nice to do the 150 again. I think that would send a really nice positive message.
I like
That would
80.
still,
80,000.
that would still leave you 50, and then if the trends continue with enrollment and retiree enrollment for the rest of the year, there might be a little more. I just want to commit to the 200. I feel that's conservative. So if you do the 150, I think that would be great. The OPEB liability as of June 30th, 2020 was $138 million.
I have to agree with Susan that this shines so favorably for the rating agencies. This is so important. So many communities are not even, are minimally touching this. So believe it or not, it sounds like a blip on that 138 million, but it sends a very strong message about the commitment of the town.
And once this goes in, it's there. You can't get it back, right?
Right.
Well, eventually, when it's built up enough, you can use it for retiree premiums. Retiree premiums right now, if you're not on a premium plan, it would be retiree premiums and/or claims.
I
Can be
mean,
paid out of the OPEB trust once you get it to the level that you want. I don't think that,
you can't take it out until you've got enough in there to cover your liability, right?
I'm not sure about that, John. I don't know the answer to that. That seems logical. You are right.
I think we have quite a way to go before we're gonna look at
Right.
qualifications.
I don't really worry about that.
I'm saying that just so people understand that when you if you're gonna transfer this money in, it's gonna stay there until you
This
get
is like
what
locking.
your liability is, and as you just heard, the liability right now is 138 million. So whatever you're putting in here, you're locking down for eternity, essentially.
Yeah, well, it's a accounting convention. It's something the bond rating agencies look at. I think you gotta do it.
I know it was a change in accounting practices that they pushed forward, so.
All right,
Just
I'll
want
make a
to make
motion.
sure people understood that, that's all.
That's important. That's like locking your money in an IRA. You can't just go pulling it out.
No, but you can use it for OPEB costs. You don't have to wait till you get the 138
Right.
million.
So is there a motion for 80, or did I misunderstand?
I like 150.
But is there a motion anywhere here? That's what I'm asking.
No, I'm gonna make one. We started at 200, let's go to 150. I make a motion, we're gonna fund OPEB 150,000 from the health insurance line item, FY 21.
Second.
All right, any other discussion? All right, hearing none, we're gonna vote. Ed votes yes. Bob?
Yes.
Chet?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Scott?
No.
Jess?
Yes.
Ben?
Yes.
Cole?
Yes.
John Anzavino?
Yes.
D. John Rock?
Yes.
Marty?
Yes.
No Elliott. Vaughn?
I'll take a no, because I think we should be really going a little bit less. But I'll take a no, thank you.
All right. Enoch?
Yes.
I have 12 to 2.
Yeah.
Right, 12 to 2. All right, that takes care of that one. All right. Let's do Article 28, Park Street betterment. Basically, just changing the words or whatever. That's all this is. So I will make a motion, huh? Somebody say something? All right. I will make a motion, we approve Article 28 for the Park Street betterments language. Do I get a second?
Second.
Okay. Any other discussion? All right, we'll take the vote. Ed votes yes. Bob?
Yes.
Chet?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
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 Ben?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
John Anzavino?
I'm gonna say yes, otherwise the town's gonna have to pick up the whole amount.
Actually, no, I think it was said earlier that the selectmen could re-look at it or something, is what it said.
Yeah, I know, and I just saw them on the school last night, so that's how much faith I have there. So,
D. John Rock?
That's what I heard.
Tell me how you feel, John.
Yes.
John Rock?
Yes.
Marty?
Yes.
No Elliott. Vaughn?
No.
Enoch?
Yes.
What's that, 13 to 1?
13 to 1. All right, let's do Article 20, the roofs for the town buildings. 68,000. Mr. O, you have some funds for us somewhere.
That's Article 20.
Article 20,
That's 6.
the 50,000 for the golf course and whatever, 18,000 for the doggos.
That's 68.
Thought one was 66 or 60 something.
Well, we had 66.
One's 18, the other is 50. Did we ever find out if he looked into a metal roof for this? I don't think we did.
No,
I didn't hear if there was any pricing on that.
It'd be more than 50.
I'm sure it'd be more than 50.
Yep.
But it'll last more than 30.
Yes, Scott.
People might
Sure.
get confused and they'll think they're in Vermont, so we don't. You ever see
Yeah,
Vermont,
that
everything.
doesn't work in Vermont, New Hampshire, you know, it's bad practice.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir, Mr. Rowe.
let me share my screen briefly.
Sure.
Everybody see that? Let me blow it up a little.
Yeah, a little bit would be good.
Oh, how do I get rid of this thing? Oh, man.
What are you trying to get rid of?
Trying to hide that
Ribbon?
thing.
The ribbon?
The ribbon
Yeah.
at the top, yeah.
Yeah, over on this side, keep going to the right and just right click when you get to the gray spot. Say minimize ribbon. Yep, okay, no, down a little bit. Down, over, yep, over.
No, I'm trying to minimize this thing, Diane.
Oh,
The zoom thing. Hide video panel, is that it? No.
I think you can go to view options on the top, Bill. Do you have that little tab, black with white letters, says view options on the top?
Bill, what's the point of this?
I have some articles to be used up to fund these.
Okay, why don't you just tell us what they are?
All right. So it's, can you see this at all?
Yep.
Oh, that's why we wanted you to blow it up, Bill.
All right. I can't get to my view option on the thing, so.
You can't get the view?
Bottom, Bill, down at
Oh.
the bottom right-hand
we go.
tray. Okay, you could do it that way too.
That better?
oh, that's better.
All right, so we got the 20A, facilities, dog pound, roofing and HVAC. We can take 10,782.47 from the 20-year general fund premium, bond premium, and $7,217.53 from the Gibbons Roof Project. You got to vote them separately, Mr. Chairman, or what?
Are you guys okay with both of these projects? We just do it the whole thing?
Okay, so we won't be borrowing anything, we're just going to use up
Right.
previous
Right.
monies. Okay,
Could
Yeah,
you
this is great.
say those again, Bill?
Yeah, it's the,
Right there, I see it, I see it. This is on the spreadsheet you sent today.
yes.
Okay, motion to approve this article using the sources that Bill just showed us.
I'll second that.
Okay, any other discussion? All right, we'll vote. Ed-
Sorry, I'm sorry, Ed, I was trying to ask a quick question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to ask, I think we've covered this before, but I'm a little fuzzy. We're allowed to just repurpose funds voted up for one particular project over to another project so long as it's the same type of project. Is that correct?
Bill?
Yeah, it's for the same statutory borrowing period as the bond or longer.
It has nothing to do with what we're going to use the funds for. So
Correct. And the only restriction is you can't use, enterprise has to be used for enterprise, and CPA has to be used for CPA.
Okay.
So it's just the length of bonding that ties you in then, Bill, right?
That's right.
Okay. Thank you.
And we haven't already repurposed this for some other use, Mr. Chair? Is that correct?
Nope.
Okay.
No, this is,
No promises, Jess.
I know. That's what I'm like. Sometimes I think we're spending the same money 3 times.
That's when we all resign and leave.
Yeah.
As long as we don't get caught, we're good.
That's like Susan knows the FEMA. Don't duplicate your costs. Don't charge FEMA the same thing to CARES.
Oh, you just touched on my greatest fear, Bill.
I know it.
Don't worry, Sue. Don't worry, Sue. Joe Biden wouldn't find it.
Oh, please, don't start with that. I'm
All right,
like
let's vote.
mortified. I'm mortified at what's going on in this country right now.
We got lots of stuff to cover
I'll
here.
plead
Let's
the fifth.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm all good. Thanks, Mr.
Good
Chair.
question, okay.
My questions
There you
are answered. Thank you.
Yep.
I'm ready to vote.
All right, we're gonna vote on per bill spreadsheet. These is for cash from these areas, different articles, and for the roof. So Ed votes yes. Bob,
Yes.
Chet,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
Diane,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
Ben,
Yes.
Joel,
Yes.
Don Anzavino,
Yes.
D. John Rock,
Yes.
Marty,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Enoch. Enoch,
Yes.
okay, 14-0. Takes care of the roofs.
Gonna stop sharing.
Thank you, Bill.
Quick question for Dr. Grimm while you're transitioning to the next thing, Ed.
Sure, good.
Since we're getting Cedar Hill a new roof and all new equipment this year, do you think maybe next year we could have a real light year on requests from Cedar Hill?
Yes. Yes, I
Thank
assure you.
Okay, thanks.
And we will have a 5-year capital plan from Cedar Hill as well.
Okay, so next year, no new articles and a 5-year plan. Sounds great. Thank you.
And hopefully no subsidy. That's,
And
I'm really, I'm going out on
You're
a limb.
going for it. You're going for the
Have
win.
leftover reserves.
That's what I'd love. Turn back.
We are recording this session, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, I know, I'm in trouble on this one. I just said it on the record. Oh, and while
Motion.
you are all doing that, to Dr. Minor's point, it all asked me to reconsider crossing guards 1.5. I talked to Deanna, it's absolutely minimal in the 22 budget. I'm not gonna go playing with numbers because I know there'll be somebody who isn't a crossing guard for a few hours and someone who is a crossing guard for a few hours. We can weather that in the budget, and I will put in for them next year to get a 1.5. To make up for last year when they didn't get one, even though no part-timers are getting one this year, so.
Thank you.
And thanks, Jess, for bringing that up.
No, thank you. It totally an oversight that they didn't get it last year.
Do they
All
get a retro?
No, I won't do it retro, but as it turns out, they didn't work a lot of this year anyway, so it really wouldn't have impacted them that much as it is.
Yeah.
So it'll be okay for next year.
But that's not in the budget we got today, right?
No, there's no change. That's so minimal that I'm not gonna worry my head about it tremendously.
Okay.
We can weather it's within such a large department in the police department that $1,700, $1,800, $2,000 is not gonna be backbreaking.
Okay, no, I just want to make note that that will be found.
Yes, that will be found.
Thank you.
Thank you all for pointing it out. I know Jess, it was something that was important and absolutely thank you for bringing it forward.
Our pleasure.
All right, let's do the enterprise accounts. This should be easy, but
Never say that. That's how you jinx something. That's like when a police officer says the night is quiet, right? You never use the Q word.
There's nothing easy yet.
Nothing easy, nothing quiet. We'd be bored.
all right,
in
we'll
this
do
town.
we'll do Article 6 first, Cedar Hill Enterprise.
Ben's
Sure you don't want to
favorite.
start with 7? Oh,
Well, we've already been through it. It shouldn't be a big deal. But. All right, the warrant article, I checked it with the budget we just got updated, and the total bottom line number is $320,779.
That's what's in there.
And that's Article 6, correct?
And that's Article 6. Cedar Hill Enterprise Fund.
You're looking for a motion to approve, Ed?
Yes,
So moved.
Second.
second. All right. Any other discussion? All right, let's vote.
Chairman?
Yeah, who's that? Bill?
This is not go to the article, but I just wanted to, when you see the motion this year, I think last year we had the subsidy in the enterprise article for Cedar Hill. And we also had it appropriated in the operating budget articles. But this year, I'm gonna say, to be funded from 2022 revenues and other sources. Because we almost ran into a little, jam because of a double appropriation. So the subsidy will be in the, general fund budget, but it will not be mentioned in the Cedar Hill article. That's all.
Okay.
You're saying the motion that's in the copy we got is gonna change, Bill?
Well, no, what we do is we appropriate everything except the indirect costs as part of the enterprise motion. So the motion that you see in the town meeting book, John, will be less by the amount of the indirect cost. That's how we've been doing it right along, so.
All right, maybe I misunderstood what you just said about running into the general fund and.
Yeah, well, I think last town meeting, the was $60,895 for fiscal 21 was the subsidy. And we had it appropriated in the general fund as when we did Article 6, the Cedar Hill article, we also mentioned the $60,895 again. So that technically would be doubling up on the appropriation. You can't do that. The recap won't work if you do it that way.
Well, I didn't know if the motion that's in the warrant that we have now was gonna be changing. That was the question.
I haven't seen the motions yet.
It says the town vote pursuant to the provisions of General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53, F and a half, to appropriate the sum of blank to fund the Cedar Hill golf course for fiscal year 22 with X amount to be raised and appropriated under Article 16, i.e. subsidized by the general fund, and blank amount to be raised from the FY 22 Cedar Hill golf course revenue for such purpose. Is that
Article 16? Article 16 stuff has got to come out of the motion. So I'll work that out, Warren. Yeah.
Okay, I just want it because I'm trying to keep up with all the changes. That's all.
Right.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna vote on Cedar Hill. Ed votes yes. Bob?
Yes.
Chet?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Scott? Scott, you out there?
Where'd you go?
Yes, sorry.
Okay. Chess?
Yes.
Ben?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
Don Anzavino?
Yes.
E. John Rock?
Yes.
Marty?
Yes.
Vaughn?
No.
And Enoch?
Yes.
Okay, 13-1. All right, let's do Article 7, the Public Health Enterprise Fund. There was a few changes here. Bill, can you confirm? I took it off the budget. It's $1,212,049.
Just a moment, Mr. Chair. $12,12,049, correct. Yeah, we had to shave 52,000 because of the projected revenues.
Is that 049 at the end there?
12,12,049. Yep.
049, thanks.
Okay, looking for a motion to approve the Public Health Enterprise Fund for $1,212,049.
So made.
Get a second?
Second.
All right, any other discussion? All right, let's vote. Ed votes yes. Bob?
The numbers just have to be filled in, Ed?
The what?
The numbers will just have to be filled in. There's 3 blanks.
Yes. We'll fill those in the next draft.
Okay,
Yeah, usually Lauren has me do those motions, John, for the enterprise.
all right. Well, I just want to make sure that Dr. Grimm or somebody's making note in that they gotta be
Yeah.
updated. So, thank you.
All right, Chet? Bob, did I
Yes.
get you, Bob? Chet? Bob, did I get you?
Yes.
Okay. Dave,
Yes.
Diane? Diane?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yes.
Okay. Scott?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Ben? Hello,
Yes,
Ben?
yes, yes. Sorry. Yes.
All right, Joel?
Yes.
John Anzavino?
Yes.
D. John Rock?
Yes.
Marty?
Yes.
Vaughn?
Yes.
Enoch?
Yes.
All right, 14-0. All right, now we'll do the Article 9, the Water Enterprise Fund.
What number is that article?
Article 9.
Thank you.
Are we skipping over the sewer
Now
enterprise
we'll do
fund?
that one next.
Oh, okay.
All right, this got changed based on the budget. It should be, I believe it's $5,776,871.
I need you to
confirm?
help repeat that, Ed.
Yeah.
5 million, say that, please.
$5,776,871.
Thank you.
Bill, can you confirm that?
$5,776,871, correct.
Okay. All right, so I need a motion to approve the Water Enterprise Fund for $5,776,871.
Just one quick question, Ed. There's no subsidy in the water, correct?
Correct.
No subsidy in the water.
Thank you.
I'm on a roll, Ed, so I'll make that motion.
Okay. I need a
Okay,
second.
I'll second it. Yeah,
Okay,
Diane's on a roll too.
I am, yes.
great. Any other discussion on the water fund? All right, let's vote. Ed votes yes. Bob?
Yes.
Chet?
Yep.
Dave?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
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 Ben?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
John Anzavino?
Yes, and Robin, tell them to start locking that gate going into the water treatment plant.
Oh, absolutely.
It's never closed, never.
D.
Thank you.
John Rock?
I will get on that.
John Rock?
Yes.
Marty?
Yes.
On?
Voting yes, but I am still waiting for information. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Enoch?
Yes.
All right, 14-0. That one's done.
And I didn't mean to put that out there at that time, Ed, but I didn't want to forget.
Yeah.
I asked about that months ago, and that gate has not been closed. I don't care what time of day I drive by there. If they're gonna bother putting the thing in, and it should be locked up.
Absolutely. No, absolutely, Mr. Anzavino. I
Long
will
as
follow
the
up.
gate's far enough in, they can pull the truck in to unlock it.
Yeah, no, it's important.
I don't want to say the other one going down to the McNamara and Fennel and never locked either, but that's beside the point. It's only your water system, you know? It's only the water system.
All right, that gets us to Article 8, the Sewer Enterprise Fund.
Hmm.
Wonder why you waited on this one.
Into the budget, I believe it's for $7,897,391.
Oh, this changed?
Repeat that again, Eddie?
7,897,391.
Thank you.
Can you confirm that, Bill?
Yeah, that's correct, Mr. Chairman. Did y'all get hopefully I sent it out, the debt service, cutting the debt service by 105?
Yeah, that was, we got that a couple days ago, what it was, last week.
Did send that out, Bill.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Bill, excuse me, through you, Ed.
Yep.
Bill, this is for the town accountant. For the remainder of the year, does that go into FY23? What happens to the second half of the year that you saved?
I see what you're saying, Dave. Yeah, okay. So normally we issue a short-term note for 120 days in June, and then we issue bonds in October. So there's a semi-annual interest payment due in April of 22, and then the principal, then there'd be a principal and interest payment due in October of 22, which would be fiscal 23, correct?
Okay.
That's assuming we do issue bonds for the remainder, whatever it was, 3,950,000, whatever it was.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
All right, so I'm looking for a motion to approve the sewer department enterprise fund for $7,897,391.
And just one question, Ed. How much is the subsidy on this one?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir, Bill, Deb.
91,782.
Thank you, Bill.
All right, so I need a motion to approve.
Okay,
Alright, so-
I'll make the motion to approve.
All right,
I'll second that motion.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you,
any
Joel.
Precinct 7 comes through.
That's right, we
All
do.
right. All right, any other
Chairman?
discussion on the, yeah,
Oh, we're having discussion on it? I just wanted to say I'm not really happy the fact we're still subsidizing this now, but that's my only comment.
well, we took a shot at the select board, they chose not to do anything, so.
Yeah,
Well, we can-
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to say the same as Vaughn. It would have been nice for them to up that. We wouldn't be going through all this.
Well, we also have, debt service in there for a sewer project too, so.
Well, it's out this year.
Actually, there is none. No,
There is none.
sewer
It's a
project is
subsidy.
not in.
Oh, we have a subsidy,
Not
we
in.
really been having the debt service in there? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
even a small rate increase would have certainly helped us, and next year they're just gonna have to double that rate increase, so kind of defeats the purpose, but it is what it is.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Bill said the break even would have been 1.38%. Is that correct, Bill?
Correct.
Although people are complaining like mad about the sewer rates already, they're kind of out of control. So, raising them is not really going to help very much. I mean, people can't even pay them now.
Well, in that case, they would have to cut the cost in that fund then. I mean,
There you go.
Right.
the math.
Thank God we're gonna buy a $75,000 truck and plow with it.
Yeah,
That makes a lot of sense, don't it?
okay.
The point is, yes,
We're not plowing the streets with it, Scott. We will make sure of that.
I'll guarantee you I'll see that truck out there with a plow on it. If it does, you're gonna hear from me.
You let me know. I'm serious. I don't want that thing plowing the streets. I don't mind it plowing to the stations, but that's
But you
it.
better make sure Mr. Fitzgerald doesn't buy it with a plow outfit on it.
Well, it may be plow. We talked about that. It may plow to the stations on those back roads. I would expect it may do that, but not the streets.
and just to address that, Jess, I understand, look, everybody understands it's tough times and all that. But they also voted to waive any fees for water connections from, April to June or something this year or whatever, and they lowered the fee as it was last year. And then they they voted to waive it for a period of time as well. And that's not bad, because we're not subsidizing the water. So, you know, you gotta give and take. But the problem is, and this is what's happened over the years, if you don't try and keep up with it, that's why we have a subsidy now, because at one point, we got rid of the subsidy on this one as well. And, you know, I understand you try and give the breaks, but at some point, you gotta pay the piper, and it's a lot easier if you're only going up 1% or 0.5% or whatever, and instead of trying to say, now we gotta catch up, and now we're looking at 3 or 4 or whatever, so, you know, that's all. I mean, I wasn't too happy when I saw it last night either. I didn't think
The worst thing is, John, we're charged on population, and that's not even fair, because it should be just the strict usage, you know what I mean? So they're skimming right off the top and drowning everybody. Only town in the state that's charged that way.
I agree, that's,
Thank God we're number one in something.
it is a pretty good way to go.
All right, Robin, you have to call our reps, see if you can work out something. All right, okay, we got a motion and it was seconded, I believe, for the sewer department. So, Ma will vote. So, Ed will vote yes. Bob,
Yes.
Chet,
Yeah.
Dave,
Yes.
Diane,
Reluctantly, yes.
Scott,
I'll echo that sentiment, because that's what I was gonna say. Reluctantly, yes.
yes.
Make that 3 in a row.
Patrick.
Ben,
Yes.
Joel, you out there?
Yes.
Johnny and Zavino.
Reluctantly, no.
D. John Rock,
Yes.
Marty,
Yes.
Vaughn,
No.
Enoch,
Yes.
all right, 12-2. Wow, well, it's getting late. Let's, we might as well do the big article and just see where this goes. All right, let's do Article 19, the capital equipment article.
Mr. Chairman,
This goes back to your spreadsheet, Bill, huh?
I got another spreadsheet. You want me to display it?
Yep, you put that up?
Mr. Chairman, if Bill comes up with some more money, I'm all for it.
We keep scraping, find it, instead of leaving it hanging around.
Doing a good
Just
job.
hanging
Right.
around. Absolutely, we don't, you know, you don't wanna sit on taxpayer money if you don't have to, that's for sure. And we don't wanna borrow if we don't have to.
Absolutely.
Can everybody see that all right? I can blow it up a little more. Hopefully, the select board at some point will let us vote to take the amounts for 50,000, less than 50,000, and pay off debt service with it. And that would cost the town about an hour of resources rather than 4 or 5 days doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Just as a reminder on those tasers, it is likely, and again, money isn't in the hand, it is likely that a big hunk of that we may not need, we may get grant, I think about 35,000 may come in grant money.
38, she said.
So that's likely, we got it this year, so we are in a pattern to get those all purchased, so we're hopeful on that. I know we can't vote it that way, but I just as a reminder.
Right, right. Yeah, I believe the chief had mentioned they received a $38,000 grant. You just don't know when it's coming.
So this is what I have, Mr. Chair. It's a table similar to the town meeting book last year, I believe. Transfers and then the balances from borrowing. There's no free cash entered here on any of these, so that'll be up to you folks whether you want to use free cash on any of these. I can plug it in the middle.
I don't want to borrow for the shed, the 5,000.
Are you going to go one at a time, or are you going to?
Well, the borrowings, that was the intent, was to do the borrowing on the tasers and the cruisers. The storage shed, we're gonna either use free cash or one of those other articles on my spreadsheet accounts. And then, how much is the fibula thing? Does that add up to 7,500?
Yes.
All right, so you got.
There is some borrowing there.
Is that a borrowing or is that just something else, Bill, on that 3,000?
That's a borrowing.
No, we're not gonna do that for those things. All right, so. So why don't we do, free cash for the 5,000 and get rid of that borrowing with free cash on the defibrillators. That's about what, 89? I think we got enough left. We had 31 minus 23, somewhere in there.
Hey. All right, you want to go to the next one? Defibrillators, this is,
Yeah, see if we can get rid of that borrowing thing. I don't wanna, if we don't have to do that one. The 3,000,
all right, let me see, check our free cash here.
yeah.
So we got, 8,718.14. So yeah, we can do that.
All right, just made it.
Okay.
Okay, so that was that part of the of that particular article.
Yeah, but
All right, now we gotta go to,
wait a minute.
huh?
On Bill's spreadsheet here, I thought he had the defibrillators listed as 5,000.
No, they're 7,500, I think.
Well, I know they are in the warrant. I'm talking about the spreadsheet.
Okay, we're gonna, Mr. Chairman, yeah, we're
Yep.
gonna be a little short. We're gonna be a little short on the free cash. We gotta find something else. One of your budgets or something.
Yeah, but what I'm,
Go ahead, John.
I thought you had, on the spreadsheet I have, for Article 19, you had the defibrillators at 5,000. Am I missing something here?
No, I thought that was the storage shed.
Well, the storage shed is 5, but it shows the defibrillators, I thought, at 5, but the warrant has it at 75.
No, I had it at 75. We were borrowing
Huh?
3562.
Well,
Okay, that's 3562.
that's the spreadsheet that came out today. The one I'm looking at doesn't have the defibrillators at 7,500. That's why I'm asking.
All right, now I'm messed up. I don't know, something happened here. Okay, let's put it back the way it was. Borrowing is 393722. Okay. All right. So that's how it was originally. We don't have 393722 in free cash.
I will take it, from the crossing guards account. We could use, up to 30 and, we use 24 for the unpaid bills. That leaves us a few bucks to cover that.
Okay. $35. All right, so storage here, we're taking 5. Oh. Okay, so we have, all right. So we have 371814 in free cash. I'll use that up if you want. 3718. $219.08. Crossing guards.
Yep, great, takes care of that. All right.
Too many S's. Okay.
All right, is everybody okay with this? You want to just vote this piece? All right. Or you want to do them all first and see where we shake out?
If this one's said, Eddie, I'll make a motion to approve
Okay.
that. Motion to approve the police, article at 55,000?
No, that's the fire. That's the fire
Oh, the
thing.
fire, wait a minute.
The total is the 305 with all the pieces. 225s are borrowing, 67.5s are borrowing, and the other two pieces are cash. All right, do we get a second?
Sure, I'll second it.
All right, any other discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to clarify what the motion is.
Yeah.
The motion is to approve the police department capital items.
Police
As
capital,
presented.
that's it, right?
Yeah,
Huh?
just police.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, and while we're talking about police capital, I'd like to mention this. The committee might notice that I sent out the information the other day on the police capital. I think it was on a Friday, I think it was, after we spoke about it, because we didn't have the information prior to the meeting. So that's why. So thought
Okay.
I'd mention it.
okay. All right, we have a motion, I got a second. Okay, we're gonna vote on the police capital part. Ed
What-
votes yes. Bob,
Yes.
Chet,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
Diane,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
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 Ben,
Yes.
Joel. Hello, Joel. Joel, you out there? I'll come back to you. Johnny Anzavino.
Hold it. The answer's yes, sorry.
Okay. Johnny Anzavino.
Yes.
D. John Rock.
Yes.
Marty.
Yes.
No Elliott. Vaughn.
Yes.
Enoch.
Yes.
All right, unanimous, 14-0.
And Mr. Rowe, could you send that out, that email, exactly the funding and everything, just so we have a record of it?
And Eddie, what was the borrowing number on that again?
The borrowing on that piece,
Yeah.
it's the 225 and the 67.5. 292.5.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. We'll send this out when it's voted.
Thank you.
All right, let's, do you have any other stuff, Bill? Or did we burn it all up? It looks like we pretty much, there's not much left around. We'll have to figure it out. Okay. All right, let's go to, the Cedar Hill part, the 200,000.
Why don't we just take them in order, Ed?
Well, it depends how much we're gonna burn up our cash, well, where we can grab it from. And since this one's gonna be a cash,
All right,
that's why.
okay.
All right, so our plan was to do 200,000 in cash for this one, for his 4 pieces of equipment. So I would suggest that we, 5, 10,
Mr. Chairman,
yep.
did you want to use that school security article first
Um,
or no?
yeah, we can do that, doesn't really matter. Okay, let's use that one, start with that.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like
Yep.
to kind of speak on what somebody spoke about earlier, about the cash here versus elsewhere, and how that pans out, I guess. If this were to be borrowed instead of cash, because if this is cash instead of borrowed, and then the borrowing falls on the fire department, that would put a bond payment on the municipal side for stuff that we have cash in hand for. So I was just kind of bringing that up. I know we talked about that earlier. And then
Yeah.
on the flip side, that would put no bond payment into the enterprise fund.
Now, like I said, if it goes short, you're gonna cover it anyway, so it's like chasing your tail, so I don't know.
Well, we've been told it's not going to go short. That's why I mentioned it.
Well, we don't know that, it's a year out.
All right, I just was kind of mentioning that the
And
taxpayers. end up
we
holding
might
debt
be able to
on something we
save up
have
enough
cash
stuff
for.
to cover a lot of the fire stuff. We'll see how it goes.
All right, I'm just saying that the taxpayers would end up holding the bond payment on something we actually have cash to pay for. Thank you very much,
Right.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay. All right, we got that piece, Bill? You got that in there?
Yep. So we need,
I'm
Need about
sorry,
20.
I'm sorry, what's the number of the Cedar Hill equipment article again?
200.
No, oh, I guess I had capital equipment on the last article of 19. I'm looking at the screen, and is this just part of 19? It's like 19F?
Yeah, it's part of 19, Dave.
19F?
Yeah.
I have another question too, since we're talking about cash here right now. we were told that 200 was just sort of a ballpark amount, and that's not the specific amount. And so, how does this work? You know, we authorize 200,000 in cash, and if it comes in less, then we don't have to give them the full amount, or do they get all 200,000 in cash even if the equipment comes in less than that?
Want me to handle that, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the authorization would be for the full 200,000, Jess. And then if he comes in less than that, then we could use that, the surplus for something else, for another article.
Okay.
It just can't get put into the operating budget. It's just extra money to spend, though.
Right.
If that's your concern, it's not like if it comes in at 190, there's 10,000 extra that could just get plated in the golf course.
Right. Yeah, that's my
to stay with
concern.
article. Yeah, it's article money. It's town meeting money, separate.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so we need another, what, 20,000 or so?
$20,011.88.
All right, let's take it from the fuel reserve. 2021 fuel reserve.
Okay, motion to approve Cedar Hill capital equipment budget as presented. On the spreadsheet, be paid with cash.
Yeah, but this isn't, yes, right. Where did this extra come from?
Fuel reserve.
The fuel reserve?
And school security,
Yeah, I had that.
so that's 200. So, motion to approve this?
Well, I'm looking at the fuel reserve, and those two numbers don't add up to 200,000. What
No,
was
you got-
what's above it?
A couple other small pieces.
All right, yeah, well, you're gonna send this out when you're done anyway, Bill, right?
Yeah, you got the two small things, then the 177,350.
Right, but I mean, you'll be sending this out anyway.
Yes, yep.
After it's updated.
$20,011.88 is the amount for the fuel reserve.
Yep.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, what's insurance recovery? What does that mean?
Oh, that's sitting there forever, Mr. Chairman. There was an old rule that if departments got insurance proceeds for damage, they could, and it was less than 20,000, they could spend it without appropriation. But if it was over 20,000, the whole thing had to be appropriated by town meeting. So that's been sitting there for like longer than that, 6 or 7 years. So I just decided to use it up.
What was the insurance thing for?
I think it was a lightning strike on the irrigation system.
Did they replace the irrigation system?
Yeah, they did. They didn't spend all of the money.
Mr. Chairman,
I think it's perfectly legal to take that excess. Town meeting can appropriate that excess balance. The limit now is 100,000, so departments can spend up to 100,000. They raised in 2016.
Okay, well, it's small potatoes. Okay, we had a motion, I think we had a second for this is how we're gonna pay for the Cedar Hill, the cash for the equipment.
Mr. Chairman, I agree that this money should be paid for with cash. I think that it's important to get the equipment as soon as possible. I'm just wondering, is this going to be noted anywhere, this $200,000 cash expenditure for Cedar Hill? So that way we sort of understand in the future, FY23, next budget season or thereafter, like what the total subsidy is for Cedar Hill? Because in fact, this is a $200,000 investment in Cedar Hill, but I just want to make sure it's reflected somewhere so that way folks know, like, maybe the subsidy you see for the operating budget isn't the only subsidy when we're also investing this 200,000. So is there a way to like put a footnote or something so that way this town meeting as well as future town meetings have a record of this significant expenditure?
I don't know, Bill, can you type something on the spreadsheet when we put it in a book?
Yes, yep.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Something to the extent that we decided to pay cash for this to expedite the acquisition of the equipment. Because I mean, that's the purpose behind going cash instead of tacking it to the enterprise. It was, you know, it was the FinCom's reasoning that the equipment needed to be acquired as quickly as possible. That's why we're paying cash and not putting it through the enterprise fund. Something along those lines. That sound right?
Yeah, sounds good.
You would be not be in the motion, but in a comment.
No, just as a comment on the thing, Bill.
Right. Are you on the committee this year, John, for the book?
Well, I think I'm doing some work with Vaughn and Dave, and we'll
Okay.
get something done. I think Bill was asking if you could put it on your spreadsheet, but I think we may put it in with, I think we should note it with the vote that this is why we voted cash and not through the enterprise.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think it should
Yeah.
be prominent somewhere, especially when folks look back in future years.
Yeah, we put comments, you folks put comments into the, after the motions in the book all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good to put it there. Also, don't forget that most people spend their evenings going back and rereading FinCom minutes from years past, so it'll be prominently displayed there too for their reading.
We could call this the Jess Minor motion.
I think Ben made this motion.
The 200,000, the cash idea was the just minor motion.
I'm already conflicted about the fact that I needed to associate with that one. Don't put it in the comment box.
For a Jess Minor, we flipped the fire department. We'll work out.
But it's a good motion because it's cash. There's no debt service stuff
Yeah.
on them, so they're not behind the eight ball.
Yeah, I like Ed's idea that we pay for this in cash and the fire department stuff as much as possible in cash.
Yeah, we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it.
That was a good point, Ben, and I've made a note here that we need to add some kind of a footnote on the reason this went through as cash and not through the enterprise fund.
Thank you.
That's a good point.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, we're gonna vote it now. Cedar Hill, 200K. Ed votes yes. Bob?
Yes.
Chet?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
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 Ben?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
Johnny and Zavino?
Yes.
E. John Rock?
Yes.
Marty?
Yes.
Vaughn?
No.
Enoch?
Yes.
All right, 13-1. All right, let's close it now. Okay, let's go back to fire then, yeah. Well, it depends on our cash. Let's do DPW first. That's just a small one. We're gonna do the wood chipper, the box thing. It's a box. It ain't a chipper. The box. For 25, and we're gonna borrow the trash truck for 300.
What's the 25 gonna be?
It's the chipper box. We'll get it from the fuel reserve. We'll pay cash for it from the fuel reserve.
All right, this is Article what, 19 what?
C.
C.
C, huh? All right. Fire truck.
Did we already do the fire, Mr. Chairman? I think I've got vaccine brain.
No, that's gonna be, want to get these other ones, then we're coming back to that one, see what we got left. So the wood chipper box thing, 25 from the fuel reserve cash, and the trash trucks are borrowing.
Mr. Chairman?
Yep,
So you need 25,000 for the chipper box?
yeah, from the fuel reserve.
Oh, fuel reserve, okay.
Yep. Okay,
Well, Bill, you had other things for the trash truck beside borrowing.
Yeah, we had some small, old bond proceeds. They wanted
okay,
to,
well,
15-year
okay.
life, I wanted to use them up.
okay, small stuff. Okay, so I'd like to get a motion to approve the DPW items, capital items as per Bill's spreadsheet right here. 25 cash for the box, and then a few other things, plus borrowing the rest for the 300.
I'll make that motion.
I get a second. Okay. Any other discussion? All right. Ed votes yes. Bob?
Yes.
Chet?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
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 Ben?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
John Anzavino?
Yes.
Joe? D. John Rock?
Yes.
Marty?
Yes.
Vaughn?
Yes.
Enoch?
Yes.
All right, 14-0. Okay, now let's do the fleet maintenance, the pool cars. We were thinking of cutting that to one car this go around for 35,000.
So this is 19, what letter?
D.
D is in Dave?
D is in Dave.
Yeah, we did agree that we would drop this to one this year.
The
And
pool-
just try to, measured over the next few years how we're gonna improve the fleet and do it, gradually.
Eddie, you gonna borrow this?
Nope, we're gonna pay cash for it.
Okay. That's why I was wondering why you were cutting, that's all.
And the amount, I don't see the amount. Where is it?
Well, they're looking for 70, it's gonna be 35,000, we're gonna cut it in half.
35,000.
And we will pay, we'll take that from the sanitation line item, 35,000.
You taking that out of the budget?
No, it's out of the 21.
Oh, okay, from the 21 sanitation.
Yeah, 21, yeah.
All right, yeah, no, a little bit of a brain.
Is that to help? Is that to help with the new car smell that you get right off the lot? Sanitation.
And I'm sorry, I have a question. We're talking about the fleet cars, right? Not the police cars.
No, the fleet, the town hall pool car.
Yeah, the pool cars, right? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
All right, motion to accept the fleet pool car for 35,000 on Article 19D.
Second.
Second.
Okay, any other discussion? All right, let's vote. Ed, yes. Bob?
Yes.
Chet?
Yes, and thank you.
Dave?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
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 Ben?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
Donnie and Zavino?
Yes.
E. John Rock?
Yes.
Marty?
Yes.
Vaughn?
Yes.
Enoch?
Yes.
All right, 14-0. All right, that piece is done.
That takes care of all the equipment.
Well, we got a few more things. The sewer truck, we're gonna put it in the sewer enterprise fund to borrow.
So are we
think-
voting now on 19E?
Yeah, we'll do that one.
Wanna do 19E?
It's just one thing. Everybody good with this one? It's gonna be an enterprise fund borrowing. Sewer enterprise fund, 75,000.
Chairman?
Yep,
Yeah, there's some other bond proceeds that I used up too, so
oh,
The bar-
good. So we only need 52,000 borrowing.
50,
Okay,
70, 88, yeah. Mhm.
great. Well, we keep scraping.
Wait, can Mr. Rowe explain, sorry, where that came from?
Yeah, so we had the Article 37 from May of 2015, sewer capital. There was 13,152.75 left over. And then the Haynes Road sewer, actually I think the first one was retained earnings. The 13,152.75, that was funded with retained earnings, so that's basically. And then there's the Haynes Road sewer project, which was closed out, 9,176.37. And then the difference is to be borrowed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I need a motion to approve the sewer truck based on Bill's spreadsheet here.
I'll make that motion.
I'll
Second.
second it, Diane.
Okay,
Thanks, Joel.
all right, any other discussion? All right, let's vote. Ed votes yes. Bob?
Yes.
Chet?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
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 Ben?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
Donnie and Zavino?
Yes, with the understanding it only plows going into the stations.
You keep an eye on that gate. All right, John Rock. Hello, John Rock.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, Marty,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
and Enoch.
Yes.
Okay, unanimous. All right, and then that'll bring us, I don't know how much cash I got left. So now we have to deal with the fire department articles, items. And off the bat, we'll have to borrow for the staff car, the 55,000. And we gotta try to work this, I don't have enough, with Article, 22, the stormwater is 100K. That we're looking to do for that one.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry, can you step back a little here? You got,
I just don't know what I got left now.
right,
Huh?
what number are we talking, 19E or something, 19F?
19B, we're gonna start with the fire
We're
department.
coming up to B now, okay, thank you.
Yeah. So I would say we're gonna borrow for the staff car, the 55,000. And we can try to scrape up the rest of the cash here.
I'm losing track of where we are, we're at B,
I need 140,
All right.
14500.
Borrowing at 55. Then the furniture is 20, right?
Yep. And the radios got reduced to 20,500. The scuba stuff is 35. The imaging camera is 25. Hose and adapters 15. And miscellaneous EMS stuff for 25.
Right. Well,
So what's the new total?
35.
I believe the total is 195.5.
Radio's 20,000. All right.
Can you repeat that total again, Mr. Chairman?
195.5.
What portion of that is borrowing? Is that all borrowing?
No, we're gonna start with only the staff vehicle, the 55,000.
Hey, Ed, this is Dave. I have to recuse myself on the radios. I'm not sure if you want to pull that or whether I should just recuse on the whole set of all 19B, whatever.
Mr. Chairman, can we vote the radio separate?
Can we? I guess, yeah.
I'd like to make a motion, we vote the radio separate.
Second.
Don't know if
Alright.
you need a motion for that.
Why, Eddie, just call it that you'll do that separate, that way.
Yeah,
Dave-
all right.
That's fine
I'll
with
just-
me, thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. All right.
You wanna borrow for the staff vehicle?
Yeah. Let me see what I got left here. 55, 65, 15, and 5. 140. Oh, is it close? Well, we'll just have to take a little more. I think the math will work. All right. We'll have to steal a few extra dollars. All right, so we're gonna take these items. I don't know, Bill, you have to allocate them, I guess. I don't know how it's gonna come out, but slicing and dicing. We're gonna do 50.
I get 3 items at 110,000. I don't know what you're getting, but the 3 items: the staff car, furniture, and scuba. Is there a different number, or am I missing anything? But
I don't know what you.
3 more on the next page.
there's more items I missed.
Yeah, 25, 15, and 25.
Adapters and miscellaneous
Okay.
EMS.
So fire hose, got it. Okay.
All right. Well, we can slice and dice the money. We'll see if we can get it to work. All right, we're gonna start with the sanitation budget, 15,500. And then we're gonna do the code enforcement officer, 55,000. And then we're gonna do the police delayed hiring for 65,000.
Say 65?
Yeah. And I had, I think we got 5,000 left on the fuel reserve.
Good
And
effort,
that-
if you could.
I think that's gonna work.
How much was sanitation you were taking, Ed?
15,000.
15 or 15.5?
I heard
15, wait a minute, 15.5, right.
Okay. Can you repeat those, please?
Yeah, you have to get the math to work. I don't know, see how it comes out, but, 15.5 from sanitation. 55,000 from code enforcement officer. 65,000 from police delayed hiring. I don't know what's left in the fuel reserve. I think, just 5,000 might be left there.
Well, that's what you said you were taking.
Yeah, I didn't do the math on the other two items, what's left, but,
I'll let you know tomorrow night.
okay. If not, we'll just change the sanitation in one of the other ones, is
Yep.
code enforcement, a few dollars, just to make it work.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think that should work, come out to 140,500.
That gives you the 195.5.
I'm missing something.
He said borrow 55,
Yeah.
Yep.
That's,
Oh, you can, okay, that's right. Yep, that's right.
right, and then everything else is the 140,500. And he gave the 4 places he was getting that money. And he's leaving it up to Bill how to allocate it,
Right.
so that when we vote this, we'll vote for everything except for the radios, and then Dave can recuse himself from the radios. But the funding itself has been set out by Ed. I would move that we approve the fire department capital items 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, with the staff vehicle borrowing the 55 and the remaining money coming from the balances mentioned by Ed from the FY21 budget.
Second.
Okay, any other discussion?
That's a total of, well, it's everything but the radios. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a total of 175. They had that, run with it, before they changed their mind.
Not 175.5, you're saying it's 175 even?
Yeah,
Well,
because the radio is 25, 20,000.
Oh, that's right, the 5 gets,
Yeah.
right, you got it, okay.
All right, let's vote it. Okay, all the items except for the radios. Ed votes yes. Bob?
Yes.
Chet?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes,
Diane?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
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 Ben?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
Don Anzavino?
Yes.
E. John Rock?
Yes.
Marty?
Yes.
No, Elliot. Vaughn?
Yes.
And Enoch?
Yes.
All right. 14-0. All right. Now, Dave can recuse himself, and we'll have to vote the radios for 20,500.
And that would come from whatever funding's left from what you mentioned from the
Right.
FY21.
Correct. Yes.
And that's my motion.
Second.
All right. All right, let's vote. Ed votes yes. Bob?
Yes.
Chet?
Yes.
Dave?
He's
He
refusing.
can't. He's abstaining.
Yeah.
He's abstaining. Diane?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
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 Ben?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
John Anzavino?
Yes.
D. John Rock?
Yes.
Marty?
Yes.
Vaughn?
Yes.
Enoch?
Yes.
All right. It's 1301. All right, that covers that.
All right, let's chit chat and then have a motion to adjourn. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Second.
Yeah, all right,
Third.
all right.
Do we have a
Amen.
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah, do we know how many articles, do we have, how many, are we almost done with articles?
I
How
think
we
we're done
doing?
with everything, aren't we?
No, we got, well, we gotta do the budget tomorrow, and, we got the 3 collective bargaining articles we gotta deal with. And obviously the budget article 16, but that's just the total. And we gotta deal with the stabilization funds, but that's pretty quick. And I believe that's all of them.
What about the
We have to,
stormwater?
then we have
Oh,
to
we-
vote on the $750,000 for the South Elementary School?
We already did that.
We did?
Yeah.
We did.
Eddie, what about the stormwater, Article 23?
Yeah, we gotta do that tomorrow. We gotta find the 100. We'll
Yeah.
probably do it from the FinCom reserve, just, really don't wanna borrow for that.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure, I didn't have that listed as done yet, so.
Okay, so go over the stuff with collective bargaining, go over the budgets that's out there, the new updated information. Am I gonna assume we're gonna do the budget, budget by budget? Is that the plan?
Yep.
Okay,
Well, it looks like we got 12, 13, 14, 16, and 23.
Could take 20 minutes.
Plus we got,
Down.
plus the state. Well, Eddie, do you
Yeah.
think you're gonna come up with anything for stabilization right now?
well, I'm kinda hoping to use, whatever we got left in the FinCom reserve for stabilization.
All right, so you think there will be something there?
Yeah, the other two, most likely not. We'll just vote to dismiss them or whatever, but,
Well, we'll refer to town meeting in case they find
Yeah.
something.
that would be
No,
the,
if you think there's gonna be something, then otherwise I was gonna say we'll just vote to refer them to town meeting now, but if you think there could be money for it, we'll wait.
yeah. Like I said, that's what I'm thinking, so.
Yeah, no, if you think we can have something, that's fine. I was just trying to clear the books before we go.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can put something in, and then if the selectmen agree with Robin on the, I don't know, the Biden bucks, that, they're gonna put 700,000 back in stabilization, if that's allowed for previous lost revenue, I don't know, but assuming you can do that, that'll be great.
Yeah.
We could find 100,000 right now. We could just vote everything else left, couldn't we?
Well, there's a motion to adjourn, I think everybody's getting kinda tired.
I'm done.
All right, so motion to adjourn, I think we had a second,
Yeah.
so let's just do this. Ed, yes. Bob,
Yes.
Chet,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
Diane,
Yes.
Scott,
Absolutely, yes.
yes,
Yes.
Ben,
Reluctantly, yes.
Liar.
Joel,
Oh, sorry, you woke me up. Yes.
okay, John Anzavino.
Well, I'd like to attack the budget before we leave, but I don't think anybody else wants to.
Feel free. Feel
I'm
free.
in favor of it.
Bill, he's retired.
Oh,
D. John Rock,
Hey, John, you can attack the budget after the meeting's over and then bring it back to us. Yes.
Right. Yes, Marty,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
and Enoch.
Yes.
All right,
We
close.
beat John Rock's bedtime. It's not even 10:30.
Well,
I
we
did
gotta be
that for you, John.
a long
Yeah,
night tomorrow.
no, Scott, come on. I think you're getting old too, so.
Well,
I was born old, brother.
all right,
All right.
see everybody
Good
tomorrow.
night,
We gotta
everybody.
finish it off.
Good night,
Tomorrow's-
everyone.
all right.
Night,